Yemo scanned his spirit sense out immediately, but found out that upstairs was completely empty. Other than some dust-covered furnitures, there was nothing. Yemo carefully looked through every corner, but still didn't find anything. He scanned his spirit sense up to level 10 and even to 12, but still wasn't able to find anything. However, that knocking sound disappeared. Yemo scanned his spirit sense out immediately, but found out that upstairs was completely empty. Other than some dust-covered furnitures, there was nothing. Yemo carefully looked through every corner, but still didn't find anything. He scanned his spirit sense up to level 10 and even to 12, but still wasn't able to find anything. However, that knocking sound disappeared. Yemo smiled plainly. He didn't care too much about such things. No matter what was doing strange things above him, it was fine as long as it didn't mess with him. If it did, then he would incinerate this thing, even if he had to chase it to the ends of the earth. One night passed quickly, but Yemo had no interest of going upstairs to look. Even if it was a ghost cultivator, he wouldn't care if he wasn't involved. Yemo just opened the door and saw the female owner of this place who brought him here last time bring in another tenant. The landlord saw Yemo and nodded happily. Yemo just moved in for a week, and the second room on her level 8 apartment building was rented out. The price was almost twice that of Yemo's. Other than him, there was someone else who was going to rent here. Yemo scanned this tenant, and it was actually a woman, a young girl that wasn't even 20. Such a young girl came to rent a haunted house? Yemo was shocked, but this young girl looked very fresh and gave people a sense of lively and smart feel. With her long hair and white dress, she seemed very eye-catchy. But soon Yemo understood. Although this girl wasn't even 20 yet, she was already in yellow level intermediate stage. This was very rare. Usually those with good talent reached yellow level middle stage at around 25 to 26. Most were over 30, but this girl was in her teens. No wonder she wasn't scared of the haunted house. She was an ancient martial arts cultivator. Yemo immediately became vigilant. There was rarely any martial arts cultivators in the city, but now he saw one, and she lived next door. Did this girl come for the bloody coral? That isn't right. He robbed the blood coral and opened a carnage. If she really came for the blood coral, her sect shouldn't just send a little yellow level middle stage girl for him. She was a lowly. The landlord really knew how to talk and said to Yemo, "Ing, you and Luo Xian will be neighbors from now. You need to look after your new neighbor." Of course, Yemo knew what the landlord meant. The landlord tricked this pretty little girl here and was just leaving her after taking the rent. She told him to look after her. From this, it could be seen that the landlord wasn't bad to the bones, but she was quite bad. He could imagine that if this girl wasn't an ancient martial arts cultivator and lived here by herself, perhaps she would be scared to death by that knocking sound at night. If some ghosts really came, she wouldn't even be able to live. But Yemo knew this girl wasn't so simple. She reached yellow level middle stage at such a young age, and her inner chi was rather abundant. She wasn't someone to be easily messed with. She definitely wasn't tricked here by the landlord. Perhaps she had some motives. He needed to be careful of this little girl. Yemo smiled, but didn't say anything. He greeted the landlord and went downstairs. As expected, when this girl heard the landlord's words, a sliver of contempt flashed across her eyes, but she didn't say anything. Then, she immediately frowned and sighed. It seemed her character really wasn't good enough. If she was, then she shouldn't have felt contempt, but nothing instead. So what if this person could look after her? Why did she look down on ordinary people? Yemo drank soy milk beside the Chun and Uni every morning. The soy milk here was tasty and cheap. Yemo really liked it. Every morning he would have a few bean buns and a bowl of soy milk, and then go back to cultivate. This life made Yemo feel very serene. If he didn't have so much troubling things, he would rather live like this forever, but he knew it was impossible. Still had so many enemies to deal with, and even after he was done with them, he needed to find spiritful things to cultivate. He really didn't want to live a boring life and die. Yi Mo didn't leave as soon as he finished breakfast. He sat for a while more and mobilized his chi. It felt good. Perhaps in another week he would recover completely. Why did she come? Yi Mo looked up and saw that girl who just moved and come into this soy milk place. She asked for a bowl of soy milk and 2 bean paste buns. She sat down and saw Yi Mo opposite her. This girl smiled gently but didn't say anything. Yi Mo stood up. He was prepared to leave, but before he left, 2 youths came into the shop. One of them was actually the young master with an earring. It was he who brought Yi Mo out of Liangpa. Although he didn't know what he did, Yi Mo was very grateful. This young master obviously didn't come to drink soy milk. He walked up to the girl straight away and looked at her in shock until the girl started to frown. Then this youth was like a drooling pig and sat down in front of her. "Pretty girl, hello. I'm Wu Jinjuan. I saw you once at Kiyuni yesterday, and it was like meeting a goddess. I originally thought I would never be able to see you today, but I didn't expect to meet you here. We're really fated to meet again." The youth wanted to act scholarly and poetic, but his words and his outfit was completely opposite. It was quite funny. The girl frowned. "Sorry, I don't know you. Please move aside." It's fine. First time stranger, second time friends." Wu Jinjuan waved his hand and said. The girl stood up abruptly and said coldly, "If you don't move aside, then don't blame me for what's going to happen." Wu Jinjuan quickly said, "That's fine. Do what you want to do. I just really want to know you. We can talk outside. There are too many people here." Then he was going to grab the girl's hand. It was unknown if that was intentional. Yi Mo shook his head, thinking this young was bold Anuj. But from this, it could be seen that this Wu Jinjuan had some background, otherwise he wouldn't be starting to drag a girl in public. As expected, this girl with one kicked Wu Jinjuan out far away. Wu Jinjuan smashed on the ground with a bloody nose. But this girl didn't stop there. She was going to step on him. Yi Mo knew that if she stepped on him, perhaps this Wu young master would have inner wounds for the rest of his life. Those who cultivated ancient martial arts really didn't care about the lives of normal people, and neither did this spiritful-looking girl. Yi Mo immediately went in front of Wu Jinjuan and stopped the girl, saying, "He didn't touch you, and you've already kicked him. Let it go. Why are you still going to beat him?" Yi Mo owed Wu Jinjuan. Although Wu Jinjuan didn't know, it was not okay to beat Wu Jinjuan in front of him. He stopped this girl, and if she really was still going to attack, then he wouldn't be so polite anymore. When Yi Mo stopped the girl, everyone in the soy milk shop froze, and so did the girl in front of him. Although she didn't really talk with the neighbor, but she was a girl and the one being harassed. This man actually went to help the young master instead. Did even he have any conscience? Or was it that this man wanted to suck up to the rich young master that he was being so shameless in public? Wu Jinjuan immediately knew he met a tough one. The youth who came with Wu Jinjuan quickly helped Wu Zihinjuan up, but didn't dare to look for trouble with this pretty girl. Although he was a hoodlum, he wasn't dumb and knew he would get bashed, so he immediately picked up the phone and was about to call people. The girl looked coldly at Yi Mo, but didn't continue the attack. Just when she was prepared to leave, a police car stopped in front of the soy milk shop. It seemed some people feared the girl would be harassed, and as soon as Wu Jinjuan came, someone called the police. He didn't expect the police to come this fast. 2 police officers came quickly, and Yi Mo immediately recognized one of them. It was that woman who was sweeping for sex trade. He heard the male police call her Zhang Feng. He didn't expect to meet her today. "It's you again? The one who bought sex was you, and the one having public brawls is also you. What's your excuse now?" That policewoman looked at Yi Mo with disgust. Hearing the policewoman's words, that pretty girl looked at Yi Mo in disgust and turned to leave. Yi Mo smiled to the policewoman. "Did I use your money to buy sex? Does it have anything to do with you? I like visiting hookers, so what? Brawling? Which eye did you see me brawling with?" You want to be police with your level of skills? Don't make me laugh. You. Zhang Feng was going to rage again, but the cop who came with her quickly stopped her and looked coldly at Yemo. But before he spoke, he recognized Wu Jinjuan, who stood behind Yemo. This policeman's face changed immediately, but immediately returned to a smile. He walked in front of Wu Jinjuan and said, "Young Master Jun, don't worry. Did this kid attack you? I'll take him away immediately." "Shut up." Wu Jinjuan interrupted him and said to Yemo, "Thank you, brother. I didn't expect this spicy chick to be so harsh. If it wasn't you, I really would be suffering now." The policeman dazed. He didn't think Yemo was actually helping Wu Jinjuan, but he immediately understood. Although he admired Yemo's foresight, he wished he could kick Yemo aside. Zhang Feng looked at Yemo in contempt. This man was bad to the bones. She had understood that the one who attacked was the girl. She didn't expect this lustful man was also a fawn. "It's nothing," Yemo said casually, and immediately walked out of the soy milk shop. He had no interest in being connected with a young master like Wu Jinjuan. He only helped this time because Wu Jinjuan helped him. Seeing Yemo walk out of the soy milk shop, Wu Jinjuan raised his thumb and yelled at the back, "Brother, next time you want a woman, come find me. I promise to take you to a place you'll be satisfied with." That police listened awkwardly to Wu Jinjuan's words, but was helpless. When Yemo came back home, he immediately started treating his wounds with qi. Yemo didn't know at all why this girl called Luo Xian came here, but her arrival gave Yemo a sense of anxiousness. He must recover his strength quickly. He had a feeling that the girl wasn't by herself. Perhaps she had a few companions. She came here for something. When Yemo came back home, he immediately started treating his wounds with qi. Yemo didn't know at all why this girl called Luo Xian came here, but her arrival gave Yemo a sense of anxiousness. He must recover his strength quickly. He had a feeling that the girl wasn't by herself. Perhaps she had a few companions. She came here for something. After a few meridian cycles, Yemo opened his eyes. He felt his wounds were better once again. He nodded and stood up with satisfaction. He looked outside, and the sky was getting dark. There was the sound of opening door from his neighbor. Yemo scanned his spirit sense out and knew that Luo Xian girl had come back. He was very curious about where she came from and scanned his spirit sense into Luo Xian's room. With his current power, it was hard for Luo Xian to notice his spirit sense. Once he reached qi gathering middle stage, even normal earth levels wouldn't be able to find his spirit sense. But soon Yemo was dazed. Luo Xian was actually a nun. When she opened the luggage case, there were a few sets of nun clothes. There were so many nuns nowadays, even in the city. But Yemo was more certain that Luo Xian was probably the disciple of some sect, quite possibly a hidden sect. Yemo grew more careful. Was it too dangerous for him that Luo Xian was a hidden sect student? But he didn't want to change place. He finally found such place that was suitable for cultivation and concocting pills. He thought for a long time and was sure that Luo Xian didn't come here for him. She must have come here for something else. In another week, his wounds would recover, and even if something happened, he could run away. When Luo Xian was packing things, Yemo noticed a large pile of books. It seemed that Luo Xian was really studied at Kiyuni. Yemo kept his spirit sense on Luo Xian and found that after Luo Xian finished packing, she took some clothes and went into the bathroom. It seemed that she was going for a shower. Yemo didn't follow in with his spirit sense. He wasn't interested in watching a lowly take a shower. Yemo took back his spirit sense and started to cultivate. A few hours later, Yemo heard another knocking at the top of the building. He stood up and his spirit sense scanned on Luo Xian. Luo Xian also heard the knocking on the 9th flower. She wasn't as calm as Yemo and stood up abruptly. It seemed she was also meditating before. Yemo found her face was a bit pale. Although she was yellow level middle stage ancient martial artist, She was still scared facing against such uncertainty. Yemo laughed to himself. Weren't nuns and monks supposed to catch ghosts? But she was scared hearing knocking sounds. Yemo saw her walk to the balcony, probably to close the window. However, Yemo didn't expect that she actually went onto the balcony and crawled to the 9th floor. Yemo couldn't help to compliment her courage. She dared to go up to the 9th floor in the middle of the night to hunt ghosts. She did her job as a nun. Who's putting on that act? Come out now. Luo Xian pulled out a long sword from her waist and yelled. Yemo immediately kept his spirit sense beside her. He also wanted to see what this knocking sound was from. Was it human or ghost? But it wasn't likely that it was human because Yemo didn't find anything with his spirit sense last night. The 9th floor was in complete silence. That knocking sound also disappeared with Luo Xian's arrival. Luo Xian grabbed the long sword and walked into the living room step by step. Yemo looked at her face and knew her anxiety. Suddenly, Yemo saw Luo Xian's long sword slice out without a notice, while her body retreated rapidly a few steps and soon went back on the balcony, but she didn't stop. It seemed as though she was knocked back by something. Yemo was shocked. Was it something his spirit sense couldn't see? Yemo immediately realized that his wounds influenced the strength of his spirit sense. Thinking about this, Yemo condensed his spirit sense and scanned. Although the range was much smaller, but Yemo did find a faint black shadow charging to Luo Xian. There really was a Yin spirit? How could this be? If it was, then it would be much stronger than the one at Shen Nongjia. But soon, Yemo knew that those attacks didn't do too much damage to Luo Xian. At most, it just made her scared. Then, Luo Xian came down from the 9th floor. Just when Yemo was wondering if he should help her, Luo Xian tapped on the balcony of the 8th floor with her foot and rushed into her room. From her agility, it seemed her qigong was really good. However, that faint shadow didn't pursue and disappeared on the 9th floor. Just when Yemo wanted to search for it again, he couldn't find it. Yemo wasn't in a rush. When his wounds recovered, nothing would be able to hide. Yemo's spirit sense came back and fell onto Luo Xian. She sat in her room with a pale face, but she took out a jade vase and took out a pill to eat. Her face started to look better. Then Yemo saw her take a peach tree with sword and hung it on the door, and then started to recover in meditation. Although this girl was only yellow level middle stage, she was quite brave. However, Yemo wondered how she saw the ghost thing. Yemo didn't believe she had spirit sense. A night passed. The next morning, Yemo got up and cleansed himself. His door was knocked. Yemo dazed. He had been here for 2 weeks, and no one even came nearby his place. Who would knock on his door? Yemo scanned out his spirit sense and immediately found Luo Xian at the door. Yemo opened the door and studied Luo Xian from head to toe. Her complexion seemed fine, but seemed a little fatigued from the events last night. As though seeing Yemo was fine, Luo Xian's eyes flashed across an almost unperceivable relief. Then she looked at Yemo, who blocked the doorway, and said, "We're neighbors, and the landlord also told you to take care of me. Aren't you going to invite me in for a seat?" Yemo didn't understand what her intentions were, but since she already said this, he could only open the door and say, "Then, please come in and have a seat." Luo Xian smiled, and Yemo sighed to himself. This girl was almost as good as Ning Qingxue in looks. No wonder when young Master Wu saw her, he was like a drooling pig. Thinking about Qingxue, a sliver of morose flashed across Yemo's eyes. He didn't want to think about her again, but he couldn't help it sometimes. Yemo then thought about Luo Ying and wondered how she was doing. When he was stage 4 Qi gathering, he could step on the flying sword and search for her. As though seeing the sadness in Yemo's eyes, Luo Xian had some shock in her eyes but soon recovered and sat down. She casually looked around Yemo's house and said, "I'm Luo Xian. I'm studying at Kuyuni. We're neighbors now. I still don't know what you're called." I'm MOing a jobless nomad. Oh, perhaps I will go out to find a job in a while. Yi Mo saw that strange look in Luo Xian's eyes and felt uncomfortable, so he explained. He was going to find a job, just not now. As though seeing what Yi Mo thought, Luo Xian didn't put down Yi Mo obviously. She thought she knew what sort of a person Yi Mo was. To be honest, a lazy person and liked to find prostitute. She smiled and was not interested in bullshitting with Yi Mo and said straight up, I heard it's unclean here. Did you live here for a long time? Coming here to find info. Yi Mo smiled and knew Luo Xian's intentions, but he had no news for her and said, I only moved here less than a month ago. Yi Mo wasn't sure if this girl was here to investigate, so he said an obscure timeline. This girl seemed astute, and perhaps she would know something if he told her the real time. But obviously Yi Mo was thinking too much. Luo Xian asked again, You've lived here for so long. Have you observed anything or heard any strange noises? Yi Mo shook his head cluelessly and said, I don't know about that. Each day, I just drop on the bed and sleep. Why would I even care about that? Have you not heard that this house is haunted? It's said that because a few people died here, this apartment could not be sold out nor rented out. Luo Xian didn't seem to be satisfied with Yi Mo's attitude and used the haunting to try to scare him. Yi Mo stretched his arms and said in a whatever attitude, I'm poor and lazy. Even if there was a ghost, it wouldn't come for me. Plus, teachers taught us not to be superstitious. I didn't even go to uni, and I know this. You're going to uni, but you're still so superstitious. Little sister, it's not easy for the country to train a uni student. Don't be so superstitious, please. You. Luo Xian stood up in anger, but her anger soon disappeared. She looked at Yi Mo and smiled. You sucked up to a young master yesterday. You won't be poor in the future. Although you're not superstitious, but my hometown has the customs and stories of ghosts. Hang this peach tree with sword on the bedroom door. Perhaps it will be good for you. Yi Mo frowned. He felt something was wrong with this little girl. He wasn't very friendly to her, but she still gave him this. What were her intentions? Yi Mo frowned. Why did he feel something wasn't right with this little girl? He wasn't very friendly to her, but she still gave him a peach wood sword. Yi Mo frowned. Why did he feel something wasn't right with this little girl? He wasn't very friendly to her, but she still gave him a peach wood sword. Seeing as though Yi Mo didn't quite believe her, Luo Xian, seemingly angry, dumped the peach with sword and left. Yi Mo thought, did he think wrongly of her? Girls were soft-hearted, after all. Was she really trying to protect him? Yi Mo picked up the peach wood sword and scanned it with his spirit sense. Immediately he sneered. He understood what was going on. This wasn't a peach wood sword at all. It was a sword made from black dye wood. Black dye wood was very rare, but Yi Mo knew it attracted ghosts. This wood grew in places with extreme yin qi and also contained yin fin qi. The low-level ghost cultivators in the cultivation realm liked using this material to cultivate. Now that this girl gave this to him, the intentions were obvious. She wanted to use this to attract the ghost to his room. Although he didn't know why, Yi Mo was sure the intentions weren't good. However, Yi Mo didn't think she wanted to harm him. If she did, killing him would be so much easier in her opinion. There was no need to attract the ghost with the black dye wood. However, Yi Mo wouldn't naively think that she wanted to get the thing down and annihilate it. If that was the case, she would hang it in her room, not his. No matter what, Yi Mo wasn't going to take it. He took this and really wanted to hang this on her room and even wanted to hang his Yin Fiend bead there. With the Yin Fiend bead there, all sorts of ghosts and spirits would rush there. But Yi Mo didn't want to do this. It wasn't because he didn't want her to get scared, but he didn't want to use the Yin Fiend bead. What did she want to do? Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense out. Luo Xian sat in her room and drank some water while talking to herself. Your fault for being such a bad person, I'll scare you this once. But you're also helping me out. When I get the ghost down, I will annihilate it. Otherwise, I'm really scared by myself." Although Yumo's attention was very focused, he couldn't really hear what she said. She seemed to have said something about being scared. Did she want to annihilate the ghost, but didn't dare to do it herself, so she purposely put the black dye wood in his room, and when the ghost came, she would come and help. With him being there, she would be braver? If that was the case, then this was too funny. Yi Emo didn't know that his guess was spot on. Luo Xian thought this exactly. Although she was a yellow-level middle-stage ancient martial arts cultivator, she was still a girl. And because she faced the evil spirit alone last night and almost fell to her death. If her qing gong wasn't good, perhaps she would have died already. So today, she wanted Yi Emo to be by the side to bolden her. And Yi Emo was a man. He had strong yang qi. This would lower the ghost's power. Yi Emo thought for a long time and couldn't decide on anything, so he casually dumped the black dye wood aside and went out to eat breakfast. Yi Emo rarely took the elevator. He liked to walk down along the stairs. Usually, when he passed the 4th level, he would see Han Sicai and Kai Jingyu and have a chat, but today, when he passed the 4th floor, he saw the two moving things in a hurry. There were 2 women and a few kids helping out. Were they moving? Yi Emo thought and asked, "Are you 2 moving away?" Han Sicai saw Yi Emo and quickly came over. "Emoing brother, did nothing happen at your floor last night?" Yi Emo subconsciously shook his head and said, "What thing?" "Nothing." But as soon as he finished, he remembered Luo Xian going upstairs last night. But Han Sicai shouldn't be able to know such a thing. Han Sicai looked around carefully and then whispered by Yi Emo's ear, "Emo brother, you need to move out quickly. That ghost came again last night. There's a small office at the 5th floor. For the first time, the boss stayed over and didn't leave. In the morning, we found his dead body in the office. This building is very evil. Lao Kai and I are leaving today." People died at the 5th level? No wonder when he came down, there seemed to be less people. Did that thing come down last night? Yi Emo frowned. He decided to go up and have a look tonight. If there really was something unclean, then he would destroy it. If people died a lot, then police would come frequently and that would disturb his peaceful life. Yi Emo agreed and was no longer in the mood to say anything to them. He went to the soy milk shop and called for a cup. Then Luo Xian came. Yi Emo didn't expect this woman to sit opposite him again and also asked for a cup of soy milk and 2 bean buns. Yi Emo really wanted that Wu young master to come and piss this little nun off again, but he didn't see any signs of him. It seemed that this Luo Xian had some power and used some ways to make this young master unable to come to her. Seeing Yi Emo ignore her and just eat, Luo Xian could only say, "Although I gave you the peachwood sword, if anything happens at night, you need to call for me to help. Do you know someone died today at the 5th floor? I heard it's—" Yi Emo drank the cup of soy milk empty and interrupted her. "Do you know you're really annoying? What's my life or death got to do with you? I don't need you to worry about me. I'm going." "You." Luo Xian stood up in anger and looked at Yi Emo. She resisted her disgust for this guy and came to talk to him, but he still used that attitude to her. If it wasn't for the thing upstairs, she wouldn't want to say one word in front of Yi Emo at all. She had decided to make sure this guy was scared shitless before she would go over. He was too annoying. Luo Xian. A girl ran over and saw Yi Emo standing opposite her. A sliver of surprise flashed across her eyes, but she quickly stood by Luo Xian and whispered something to her ears. Luo Xian stood up immediately and didn't even have time to drink the soy milk and left in a hurry with the girl. Yi Emo scanned the girl. She was probably a normal student. There was no inner qi waves on her. However, he wondered what news that Luo Xian heard that made her leave in such a hurry. Although Yi Emo didn't want to be bothered with Luo Xian, since she messed with him and lived next door, Yi Emo wanted to go investigate and see exactly what she wanted. After returning, Yi Emo cultivated for a while and took out the remaining few snow lotus seeds. If only he had a lotus life pill now. His wounds would recover immediately. Pity, he had used up the 3 lotus life pills, although he still had 1,000-year snow lotus. It wasn't so easy to concoct it into lotus life pill. Last time, he wasted almost half the ingredients. Now that he was injured, the success must be scarily low. If he wasted a few more snow lotus seeds, then it would be hard to find more. Yi Emok took a lotus leaf and thought about it before eventually putting it in his mouth and chewing it. The leaf was good for concocting pills, but it still had a large amount of impurities. When he was just injured, he didn't dare to eat it because he didn't have that much qi to refine the impurities. But now, his wounds were going to recover in 2 days. Although he can refine the impurities, he didn't want to waste the lotus leaf for that. After all, it was the same if he recovered 2 days earlier or later. But due to this uncertain factor Luo Xian, Yi Emo didn't even dare to drag things on for a single day. Although the leaf wasn't as good as the lotus life seed in recovery, the effects were obvious for Yi Emo's almost recovered wounds. It was only 6 hours, and Yi Emo had not only fully recovered, but his power also grew a little. His spirit sense could reach up to 150 radius. Yi Emo ran his qi through another big meridian cycle and 12 small meridian cycles before standing up with a fresh spirit. Now that his wounds were gone, he could start concocting pills. But before that, Yi Emo still had to do something. He had to destroy whatever was upstairs, as he felt this thing was affecting him. Yi Emo originally thought that since Luo Xian gave the black dye-wood sword to him, she would come back at night to catch the ghost. But it was almost 10 p.m., but there was no sound from next door. This Luo Xian actually didn't come back tonight. Yi Emo's face went cold. It seemed this woman really wanted him to die. If it was a normal person with the black dye-wood hanging in the room with a ghost above, how can he live? This woman's heart was much more cruel than her looks. At 10 p.m., sound came from upstairs again. This time, it wasn't a knocking sound, but footsteps. Yi Emo scanned his spirit sense out. He found that the lift that stayed at the 8th floor went up and was about to reach the top level. This is quite interesting. Yi Emo sneered. He jumped on the balcony and went to the 9th floor. He wouldn't crawl onto the balcony like Luo Xian. One wind control technique, and he was standing on the balcony of the 9th floor. Under the dim moonlight, there were clear footprints on the balcony. Yi Emo at first thought they were left behind by Luo Xian last night. But soon, Yi Emo realized something was wrong because there were footprints along beside Luo Xian's. However, the footprints appeared very suddenly and walked to the window before disappearing. The footprints were larger than Luo Xian's, but were still clearly a woman's. Who was she? In a broken-down Taoist temple, 3 women and 1 man gathered here. If Yi Emo was here, he would recognize that one of them was Luo Xian. In a broken-down Taoist temple, 3 women and 1 man gathered here. If Yi Emo was here, he would recognize that one of them was Luo Xian. Originally, we had half a year, but now we probably can't wait for half a year. I'm prepared to go back with my 2 younger martial sisters. Older martial brother Qi, are you going back as well? The one speaking was a slightly older-looking nun. However, her skin was creamy white while her temperament seemed royal and untouchable, as if she was above the mortal world. The man called Qi didn't have time to reply when an extremely beautiful woman next to him said, "But Luo, you martial sister, I still haven't found what I wanted. And you Lin martial brother haven't been out long." Yu Lin martial brother said it's very beneficial to his cultivation being out to experience the world. Plus, we only get this chance once every 50 years. If we go back before time is up, wouldn't it be too pity? Perhaps we can wait a bit more. No, recently a blood coral appeared in Liangpu. This thing is very precious, even at our place. That's why in the mortal world, there are hidden sect people everywhere. If we stay here, we might be found. Yu Lin martial brother isn't from the same sect as us. If he wants to stay, Of course I won't say anything. The Luo Yu nun was very straightforward, obviously not agreeing to that pretty girl's words. Qi martial brother hesitated for a moment before saying, Luo Yu martial sister, I can't go back yet. I still have something unfinished. Luo Fei martial sister's words are also reasonable. Plus, I will take care of her. After all, it's not easy coming out. Luo Yu frowned. Seeing Qi martial brother and Luo Fei glancing at each other in that way, she felt uncomfortable. She felt that since Luo Fei martial sister chose nun cultivation, she shouldn't get close to someone like Qi Yulin. Plus, she didn't have a good impression of Qi Yulin either. But Luo Yu didn't say anything and turned to the youngest girl and said, Luo Xian, what are your opinions? Luo Xian said, Big martial sister, I felt that I've learned a lot in these 2 months outside, and I have a feeling that if I have another 2 or 3 months, I can completely look through the library of Chun and Uni. I believe that I can find what we need there. But if Big Martial Sister feels that we should go back, I will listen to you. Qi Yuling smiled and said, Luo Yin Martial Sister, Luo Xian is right. Sometimes experiencing the outside world for a while and then go back for serene cultivation is better than constantly cultivating. I will take good care of these 2 martial sisters. Luo Yu martial sister, don't worry. Luo Xian smiled but didn't say anything. She thought different. She wouldn't need this Yulin martial brother to take care of. Luo Yu sighed. Okay, we'll go back after some more time. Luo Xian, although you cultivate very fast, you still need to be careful. Although the people outside are weak, they are very cunning. It's very easy to fall into their schemes. You need to take care of yourself. I know, Big Martial Sister. Luo Xian poked out her tongue. Looking at Qi Martial Brother and Luo Fei disappearing very quickly, Luo Xian looked confused at Big Martial Sister and asked, Martial Sister, why did you change your mind? That's not like you. Luo Yu sighed, looking at Luo Fei, who disappeared far off. After a long while, she said, Luo Xian Martial Sister, have you noticed something different about your Luo Fei Martial Sister? Not really? Why? What's wrong, Martial Sister? Luo Xian asked in surprise. Luo Yu frowned and said, I only noticed later. Luo Fei has lost her virginity. If she goes back now, she won't get away from the harsh punishment from the sect, so I don't know what to do either. What? Luo Xian exclaimed. After some time she said, Is it Qi Martial Brother? How can he do that? Luo Yu sighed and said, It should be him. Qi Yulin looks very charming, but I feel he's not reliable and real. If he really loved Luo Fei Martial Sister, he wouldn't take her virginity now. Sigh, Luo Fei really doesn't know self-love. After pausing for a moment, Luo Yu continued, Let's not talk about that. Luo Xian, you must remember not to trust anyone so easily, especially the men outside. They're all very bad. You just need to search through the library in Chun and Uni. If something happens, you must remember to contact me. MHM Martial Sister, I know. Even if you don't tell me, I know how bad the people outside are. I've met one recently. Oh no, not good. Luo Xian seemed to have remembered something and screamed. She seemed very worried. What's wrong, Luo Xian? Luo Yu looked at Luo Xian in surprise and asked. Luo Xian quickly said, Nothing. I have something urgent. I'll be going first, Martial Sister. I'll come find you when I have time. Then Luo Xian turned and left quickly. She was really worried. She left that annoying guy next door, the black dye wood, as a bait for the ghost tonight. It was already 2 to 3 a.m. now, but she completely forgot about it. Perhaps that Mo Ing was already completely dead. If that really was so, then she killed him. Although that man was disgusting, if he died due to her, she would feel very bad. Just when Yi Mo reached the 9th floor, the sound disappeared and Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense. There was nothing on the 9th floor. Just when Yi Mo was about to look carefully, there seemed to be 2 shadows walking past to the 10th floor. After a brief moment, That walking sound appeared on the 10th floor. Yi Mo didn't even think and sped to the 10th floor. The 10th floor was very quiet, but Yi Mo's spirit sense scanned a few faint shadows. If he didn't have spirit sense, he wouldn't have been able to discern this. However, these few people were like dolls and stood in the center of the living room, not moving at all. Yi Mo knew that people had souls, and after death, the souls would disappear into nature. As for whether there was reincarnation, Yi Mo didn't know, but he knew that the dead spirit couldn't appear in daylight, unless it was a ghost cultivator. Ghost cultivator had a cultivation method, so they couldn't be treated as normal people. But there couldn't be cultivation methods here, much less ghost cultivator method. So how did the not yet dissipated soul stand there and not move? Yi Mo scanned out his spirit sense, but didn't find anything. He believed these normal ghosts weren't able to push Luo Xian down. It meant that there was something above. Yi Mo came to the 11th floor, but as soon as Yi Mo left the 10th floor, his spirit sense noticed those ghosts that didn't move started to walk around, and the footsteps were very loud. Perhaps it was the ghost of the previous owner of the 10th floor. He was harmed and his soul was shackled. Yi Mo also saw a few ghosts at the 11th floor, but they seemed more ferocious than the 10th floor ones. When they saw Yi Mo, they actually charged up as though they were going to devour Yi Mo. Before they even reached Yi Mo, the bleak wind already came. Yi Mo sneered and threw out a few fireballs. There was a sharp shriek and the ghosts disappeared traceless. Although they were burnt by Yi Mo knew they were far from as powerful as the one Luo Xian met last night. Yi Mo then came to the 12th floor. He already knew that these ghosts weren't natural. It was probably someone farming these ghosts. It could be seen that this person was quite capable. Originally, people died like an extinguished candle. They would dissipate in the world to nothing. But here, Yi Mo found someone who could control dead spirit and make it not dissipate and even condense. This was very strange. At the 12th floor, Yi Mo found the black shadow that fought with Luo Xian indeed. This black shadow didn't seem to react to Yi Mo's arrival, and Yi Mo wasn't in a rush to attack it. He scanned his spirit sense out and soon found one corner of the main bedroom was different. There was a wardrobe he couldn't scan his spirit sense in. Yi Mo didn't even think and walked to this corner and threw out a fireball. He didn't care about the black shadow in the middle. Although it was strong, it was nothing to Yi Mo. Other people couldn't see it, but it had nowhere to hide up from Yi Mo's spirit sense. And Yi Mo knew that this black shadow was a ghoul formed artificially by someone. As for the other ghosts a few floors below, they should be the food for this fierce ghoul to make it grow. Although he threw out a fireball, Yi Mo couldn't help but to sigh. China had a great landscape and vast sort of things. There were all sorts of people. There were also countless methods of feeding and keeping ghosts. However, people in the cities just rarely encountered them. He didn't expect to see someone overtly keeping ghosts in the city and grew out a rather strong one. One could imagine how much souls were needed for this ghoul to be strong enough to beat yellow-level middle-stage martial artist. Souls weren't easy to get. Even if you had means to collect ghosts, you needed to act on it immediately. But once a person dies, his soul would disappear immediately, so these souls needed to be collected on the spot. From this, it could be seen that the ghost keeper was a cruel person. Yi Mo's killing intent rose. He threw out a few more fireballs. Splash, splash. The closet that kept his spirit sense out was broken, and a woman wearing a large red robe stood out. Her face was pale, and lips were vibrant red, as though she was dead. Yi Mo sneered. Since I came, if I let you go so easily, you'd be overestimating yourself. And Yi Mo was sure that the woman wasn't going to give up like this. For someone like her, she wouldn't pass out on him who had so much power. To her, his soul was probably worth more than thousands of normal ghosts. As soon as Yi Mo finished, that ghoul behind him suddenly charged at Yi Mo speedily. Yi-Mo didn't even turn, and multiple fireballs enveloped the ghouls. An extremely putrid smell came. After a fit of sharp shrieks, the ghoul behind Yi-Mo was burnt into nothing. "You dare to kill my little pet!" The red-clothed woman screamed as though her lifeline was killed by Yi-Mo, and she charged to Yi-Mo immediately. Yi-Mo said plainly, "You're a mere yellow-level tertiary stage ancient martial arts cultivator, and you dare to act cocky in front of me." The woman stopped suddenly in her tracks and looked at Yi-Mo in surprise. After a good while, she stuttered, You can see what my power level is." "This isn't something you can know. I will take your life. You've killed so many people, so you can go die as well." Then Yi-Mo shot out more than 10 fireballs around the woman. The woman shrieked, "Don't kill me. I'm a pupil of the 4-state 9-moon temple. If you kill me, you will be hunted down by the masters of my sect." Yi-Mo sneered, "9-moon temple, is it very strong? Not long ago, I killed a guy called Niawubian. I wonder if he came from your sect. But no need for a hunt, and a while later, I will go to the 9-moon temple personally. This disgusting place does not deserve to exist." Hearing Yi-Mo's words, the red-robed woman screamed, "You actually killed Wubian, martial brother? Let me go. I'm willing to help you do anything." Before she finished her words, she was burnt to crisp by Yi-Mo's fireball with only some dust left flying around. Yi-Mo then looked at that thing that could block his spirit sense. It was a very strange wood. Yi-Mo couldn't recognize it, but it had already been burnt pretty badly by his fireball, so Yi-Mo just burned it down completely. This woman definitely had an artifact to control ghosts, but Yi-Mo didn't like such dirty stuff, so he didn't even ask and burnt everything. Yi-Mo scanned his spirit sense out. As soon as he killed the woman, all the ghosts from downstairs floated out and disappeared in nature. It's finally quiet now. Yi-Mo sighed. He could go back to concoct pills. But why was none of the disciples of this 4-state 9-moon temple good? All of them were completely disgusting. Yi-Mo went back to the 8th floor and forgot to ask the woman if she made the elevator rise up to the 12th floor. But it probably was her. Who else would be that bored? Yi-Mo went back to his room and took out the blood coral. He carefully cut a third. He never hoped he would succeed on the first try, so he planned to concoct one cauldron first and then find the difficult parts of making the chi-increasing pill. Then he would make preparations and wholeheartedly make the second cauldron of pills. That Luo Xian still hadn't come back, and she probably wouldn't be coming back tonight. This was perfect. Yi-Mo didn't want anyone to disturb him while he concocted pills. He took out the Shun-known cauldron and shot out a gust of chi fire. Then he took out some supplementary ingredients and dumped them into the cauldron as he started to melt them. There were many supplementary ingredients that could be used for the chi-increasing pill. What Yi-Mo used now were all from the Shen-Nong Jia. Although they weren't as good as the ones in the cultivation realm, but they were still decent in improving the potency of the pill. Half an hour later, Yi-Mo took out the waste from the cauldron and cut another piece of the blood coral and dumped it in. Another hour later, the medical droplets of blood coral started to coagulate. Yi-Mo was getting more and more anxious. It would be good if he could concoct the chi-increasing pill on the first try, but if he couldn't, he would waste a cauldron full of ingredients. But after half an hour, Yi-Mo started to sweat. The chi-increasing pill wasted too much spirit chi and wasn't something he could concoct now. But he had no choice. If he didn't make one, it was impossible to break through fast in this environment. Yi-Mo went from strange to familiar with the concocting process, but the chi-increasing pill still had no signs of forming a pill. Although Yi-Mo was worried, he knew this cauldron was probably going to go to waste. It wasn't that his method was wrong, but that his chi wasn't enough. If he had a pill for chi recovery now, he was sure he could finish concocting it. He knew his chi wasn't enough, but Yi-Mo didn't want to give up. He still held on tight. He was trying his luck. Perhaps by accident the pill would form. In a loud bang, The still liquid ingredients exploded in the cauldron, causing an air wave pushing Yemo out. Yemo's clothes were completely blown off, and his hair was like wild grass. His body was red with the steaming drips of the ingredients. Yemo felt hardness of breath as his mouth seeped blood. Luckily, the inner wounds weren't serious. His power was still too low. Yemo sighed. Just when he was getting up to pack up, his door was kicked open. Yemo didn't have time to scan his spirit sense, and just took back his cauldron without thinking. At the same time, his spirit sense locked onto his flying sword. That person dared to kick his door. He doesn't want to live. Emoing. Are you okay? Sorry, I had something on and I forgot about this. I'm really sorry. It was Luo Xian who charged in. Her eyes were indeed full of anxiety and worry. Now looking at Yemo in such a wounded state, the regret in her eyes was even more. But she continued, "But luckily you're fine. If something really happened to you, I wouldn't be able to rest easy for the rest of my life. Although you're a bad person, I can't kill people." What was she on about? Yemo frowned, thinking, what had his concocting pills got to do with her? Why was she so worried about him? But Yemo immediately realized that he was probably dumbed by the explosion. This woman left the black dye with sword here, obviously wanting to use him. Looking at her reactions, she didn't want his life. She was probably hindered by something and forgot she left the sword here. Although Yemo realized that Luo Xian wasn't trying to harm him, he still couldn't get a good feeling towards her. After all, she wanted to use him and she forgot about this when it was life-threatening. It could be seen that she didn't care about human life, but her worry was real. Considering this, I would let you go this time. Just when Yemo struggled to get up, Luo Xian took out a jade vase and gave Yemo a pill. "This is for recovery. Eat it." Yemo nodded. He also wanted to see how good this woman's pills were, but as soon as Yemo ate it, his face changed immediately. "Oh no, I took out the wrong pill." Luo Xian's face changed drastically as she screamed. "I actually gave you Qi recovering pill for you. What should I do?" Luo Xian was only 19. She knew what would happen if she gave a Qi recovering pill to a normal person to eat. "I actually gave you Qi recovering pill for you. What should I do?" Luo Xian was only 19. She knew what would happen if she gave a Qi recovering pill to a normal person to eat. Qi recovering pill was for ancient martial artists who were at least at yellow or above level to recover Qi. If a normal person accidentally ate this, then the only result would be death from explosion. In a hurry, she actually used this as an injury pill for Yemo, this ordinary person. Yemo was also shocked, but not because the pill Luo Xian gave him was Qi recovering pill, but because the pill could actually recover his Qi, although not much. Even he didn't have pills that could recover spirit Qi. Where did this girl get it from? There were many valuable ingredients in the pill that he couldn't even find. But these ingredients were just made into simple Qi recovery pill. What a waste of valuable things. If he had enough of these pills, Yemo could imagine that he could even use that pill to make Qi increasing pill. How could he get more of these pills from this little girl? He must get it. Yemo's face kept changing. He really wanted to beat Luo Xian down and search her body, but Yemo couldn't do such a thing. If this woman tried to harm him before, he wouldn't have any moral bearings for doing this, but the truth was, Luo Xian wasn't trying to harm him. Should he still do it? Seeing Yemo's strange face, Luo Xian was more worried that even her tears started to appear. She looked at Yemo with big eyes, but didn't have a good way to save him. Even if she took him to the hospital, he would still die. Plus, he wouldn't even make it to the hospital. She only knew murmuring, "Sorry, I really didn't mean it, sorry." "Is there something wrong with me? How come I feel my stomach isn't right?" Yemo thought for a while and asked. Luo Xian wiped her tears and nodded, then saying, "Qi recovering pill can only be eaten by ancient martial artists. You will explode after eating, sorry." Yemo was trying so hard not to laugh, but his face turned bleak and scary. I'm going to die, and it's caused by your chi recovery pill. So after I die and turn into a ghost, I will still follow you. I have no feud with you, but you killed me. There's an extra ghost in this haunted house, so I can't let you go. Luo Xian's face turned white, but she shook her head. I didn't mean it. In fact, I'm not scared of ghosts. I actually went to catch the ghost at level 9. No matter if you're afraid or not, I died by your hands, so I will follow you day and night. If there's an opportunity, one will eat you. Yi Mo said nastily. Luo Xian was more worried and said, I really didn't mean to harm you. If people die, their souls will dissipate. How come your stomach isn't getting bigger? Normal people who eat the pills will have their stomachs gradually grow big and then end in an explosion. Yi Mo was alarmed. He must not let her see anything. Thinking about this, his stomach started to grow big gradually. Your stomach. Luo Xian wanted to slap her mouth. As soon as she said Yi Mo's stomach, it turned big. What do I do? Luo Xian was very worried, but good thing was, although Mo Ying's stomach was growing big, it was very slow. Yi Mo said with a struggle, I'm going to die. You go out. I don't want you to watch me die. But Luo Xian looked worriedly at Yi Mo and said after a while, Sorry, I caused your death. Yi Mo was so annoyed. I've already said that, and what's the use of saying sorry? Next line of the script should be, If you have any last wishes, I'll help you finish it. Just when Yi Mo was prepared to remind Luo Xian, she wiped her eyes and said, If you still have any last wishes, I will definitely help you finish it. Yi Mo's face grew bleaker as he said, I don't want to hate you, but I hate your chi recovery pill. Give me all your chi recovery pills. Before I die, I will exact revenge on these pills. That is my only wish. Luo Xian didn't think much of it and took out the chi recovery pills pitifully and said, Actually, it's not the pills' fault. It's all my fault. Yi Mo saw that she didn't give the pills to him and quickly said, It's fine if you don't want to complete my wish. After I die, I will turn into a ghost and follow you day and night. Even if you're not afraid of ghosts, I will still find fellow ghosts and follow you. Luo Xian's face went white. Now that Yi Mo said this, she quickly replied, No, you must not, please. Okay, I'll give them to you. Then she put the chi recovery pills in front of Yi Mo and said after a while, If you turn into a ghost, don't follow me. Even if you do, don't get too many ghosts to follow me. Yi Mo took back the chi recovery pills and was no longer in the mood to bullshit with Luo Xian. He quickly said, Okay, I won't follow you. You can go out. I want to be by myself. Remember to fix the door for me. Then Yi Mo pushed Luo Xian out and closed the door. Yi Mo looked at the pills in his hands and felt his face burning. It was like an adult tricking something from a little kid. But this woman couldn't be counted as a kid. Not only did she scheme him and also gave him the wrong pill. If he really was a normal person, perhaps he would really have died. But Yi Mo also knew that he was finding excuses for himself. After all, this bottle of pills must be really expensive on Earth. Never mind, when he concocted chi-increasing pills, he would give her 2. With 2, perhaps she could reach black level elementary stage. That would be the compensation. After all, without the chi recovery pill, it would be hard for Yi Mo to concoct the chi-increasing pill at stage 3 chi gathering. Luo Xian stood outside and suddenly felt something wasn't quite right, but she didn't know what was wrong. Yi Mo packed up his room and took a shower. He scanned his spirit sense out and found that Luo Xian hadn't left. She just sat in his living room, dumbfounded. Helplessly, Yi Mo could only open the door and looked at Luo Xian and asked, How come you haven't left? You're not dead? That's great, I thought. But she didn't finish the rest of the sentence. Seeing that Yi Mo was fine, the happiness on her face was authentic. Seeing this expression, Yi Mo felt more guilty, but this guilt just flashed across quickly. He'll just give her some chi-increasing pills. much more precious than her chi recovery pill. Yemo could only say awkwardly, "Yeah, originally I felt my stomach was very uncomfortable and I don't know why, but it seemed to be starting to get better. This is quite strange. Okay, you should be going back. It's just that my door is broken and I need to fix it tomorrow." Yemo was afraid Luo Xian would think about the pills and quickly directed her attention. "Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask you. When I just came in, I saw you were injured. Was it because the thing from upstairs came down? Wait, I'll go have a look." Then before Yi Mo could reply, Luo Xian ran out quickly. Yi Mo's spirit sense immediately followed and found that she actually went to the balcony of the 9th floor. She wasn't afraid today. This was really strange, but when she reached the 9th floor, she checked carefully. Eventually, her eyes fell on the footprints on the ground. One set was left behind by her, but beside it she saw another set that also belonged to a woman. However, it disappeared at the end of the balcony. What made her surprised the most was that there was another set of footprints that was much larger. It appeared very suddenly because there were no footsteps around it. Yi Mo looked at Luo Xian's face that kept changing and commended on her meticulous mind. Although her experience was pitifully little, she was very meticulous. That, of course, was left behind by Yi Mo. He forgot to erase it. After he left the footprints, he just flew to the 10th floor, so it appeared very suddenly. Yi Mo thought Luo Xian would go upstairs and look, but she instead flipped down and came into Yi Mo's house. "What are you doing back here?" Yi Mo was scared of facing Luo Xian. She'd better not ask about the chi recovery pills. They was very useful to him. Luo Xian stood in front of Yi Mo and hesitated for a long time before saying shyly, Mo-ing, my door is still not fixed. I'll have a look. I heard this building isn't safe. What if something at night comes into my house? I'll be dead." Yi Mo thought she was going to ask for the pills and didn't even think before interrupting her. He walked to the door and started to check it. Luo Xian quickly followed and said, "It's fine. I'll help you find someone to fix it tomorrow. If you don't feel safe at night, you can live at my place. There are 3 bedrooms. That's not too good. How about you go first, and when I want to come, I'll press your bell." Yi Mo immediately said, "Okay, I'll go back first. I'm tired today. If you're coming, then come earlier, otherwise I'll fall asleep." Luo Xian nodded, but just when she walked to the doorway, she stopped. Yi Mo had a fright. Was she going to remember? As expected, Luo Xian suddenly stopped and hesitated for a moment before saying, "By the way, Mo-ing, can you give back the chi recovery pills I gave you? They are very important for me." As expected, Luo Xian suddenly stopped and hesitated for a moment before saying, "By the way, Mo-ing, can you give back the chi recovery pills I gave you? They are very important for me." She was telling the truth. If she had those pills at night, perhaps she would even continue on to the 10th floor after 9. But without it, she didn't dare to go up. And these pills were very precious. If she wasn't going outdoor for experience, she wouldn't even get that bottle. Even her master couldn't get these so easily. Because Luo Xian was the youngest, she got a bottle of chi recovery pills, and there was only 12 inside. Meanwhile, her 2 martial sisters only got 6. Because Yi Mo was going to die and wanted the chi recovery pills as his last wish. So although she couldn't bear it, but she still gave them to him since he would die due to her. But now Yi Mo lived again, and these chi recovery pills were so expensive. She must get them back. So no matter how Yi Mo interrupted, she always remembered that there was a bottle of chi recovery pills on Yi Mo. Upon hearing Luo Xian's words, Yi Mo almost spat blood. He tried for so long to try to divert attention, but she still asked that question. There was no way he was going to give the pills back. He had no chi recovery pills now. It wasn't that he couldn't make them, but he didn't have the resources. So, this bottle of pills was very important to Yi Mo. Without them, he wouldn't be able to make chi increasing pills. Seeing that Yi Mo didn't talk for a long time, Luo Xian was worried. Just when she was prepared to ask again, Yemo sighed. Sigh, I thought I died in the hands of Qi recovery pills, so I threw them all away. Now that you ask me for it, I can't take it out. Huh. Luo Xian heard Yemo's words, and tears started to swell around her eyes. Such a precious bottle of pills were tipped out. She dazed for a long time before she wiped her eyes and asked, Where did you tip them? Seeing that this little girl was crying, Yemo felt a little embarrassed, but could only say, I just threw it out the window casually. Who knows where it went? Perhaps the pills have been eaten up by ants. Upon hearing this, Luo Xian went out immediately. Yemo felt a sigh of relief. He finally tricked her away. If she stayed, then he really wouldn't be able to take it. It was just a bottle of Qi recovery pills. It made him feel so guilty. Yemo looked at the door that was kicked open and didn't bother to do anything. He went back to this room and was prepared to have a night's rest. When Luo Xian went to uni tomorrow, he would make a few cauldrons of normal pills. When he got familiar, he would fully concentrate on the Qi-increasing pills. But before Yemo got on bed, his spirit sense scanned Luo Xian. This girl carried a mine torch searching for something downstairs. No way! Yemo yawned helplessly. This woman was really annoying. He already said he threw it away, but she was searching for it at night with a mine torch. How did that make him feel? Sigh, let her be. Once she won't find it, she will give up. If he knew earlier, he should have said he threw it in the toilet. Yemo hardened his heart and went to sleep. Yemo woke up in the morning with a fresh mind. He cleaned himself and was prepared to go downstairs to get soy milk. But he saw from the balcony that Luo Xian was still searching downstairs. Yemo was shocked. Did she actually search for it the whole night? Looking at Luo Xian's state, Yemo fell silent. He sighed. Never mind, he'll give it back to her. Without those pills, he would think of another way. This made him feel so guilty. Just when Yemo wanted to call Luo Xian up to give the pills back to her, he saw her disappointed look as she turned into the building. Yemo scanned that her eyes were quite black and a bit swollen. She was probably sad over the pills for the whole night, but since she gave up, there was no need to give back to her. However, Yemo didn't dare to go down to drink soy milk. He didn't want to meet her again. He went back in his room and fiddled with the Yin Fiend bead for a while, and estimated that by this time Luo Xian should have been gone. Then he walked out slowly. How come you still haven't left? Yemo opened the door and saw Luo Xian sitting in the living room, thinking it was really convenient without a door. Luo Xian originally wanted to say something, but seeing that Yemo opened the door to his bedroom, she immediately charged in. She looked carefully around his room before shaking her head. He looked at her in shock, thinking, if I'm going to steal it, I can't let you see it, right? Luo Xian looked a while before turning back and saying, Mo-ing, I just noticed that there was some Yin Fiend Qi in your room. Something unclean might have come to your room last night. Did you find anything different last night? Yemo dazed. He took out the Yin Fiend bead just then, and Luo Xian noticed that Qi, this girl, was really sensitive. Yemo asked subconsciously, How do you know? Luo Xian said in a serious manner, I can see things that others can't with my eyes, and I seem to have seen some Yin Fiend Qi in your room. But it's very faint, and it's gone now. But this isn't normal. I suggest you to stop living here. Yemo commended, but said, Luo Xian, it's such a waste that you don't become a nun. Then he remembered, wasn't this little girl already a nun? Sigh, what a pity. Such a beautiful little girl actually became a nun. As expected, a sliver of uneasiness appeared across Luo Xian's face, but she didn't say anything. Aren't you going to uni today? Yemo feared staying with this Luo Xian the most. Whenever he was with her, he couldn't help to think about the bottle of pills. Luo Xian shook her head. Sorry, I wasn't at home last night and forgot your place didn't have a door. You were almost harmed by bad spirits. So, I called in the morning for you. Later, someone will come fix the door. Yemo opened his mouth and thought why Luo Xian seemed different from a few days ago. Was it because she lost her pills that she went under a personality change? She should use the attitude she used against that young Master Wu. Then he wouldn't feel guilty. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I'm living very well here, very well. Yemo waved his hands. Seeing Luo Xian, who wasn't convinced, Yemo could only say again, I'm going down to get soy milk. See ya. Then Yemo left. He thought, if you won't leave, then I'll leave. Wait. Luo Xian suddenly stopped Yemo. What else is it? Yemo looked at Luo Xian strangely. Luo Xian hesitated before eventually saying, I have something that I want you to help me with. Yemo felt strange. Luo Xian didn't seem like she needed his help. Plus, with her perception of him, she wouldn't ask him for help even if she needed to. What trick was she going to play now? Yemo didn't mind. If she didn't play tricks, then he would help her with something small. Even if she did try something, he wouldn't lose to a little girl. Thinking about this, Yemo laughed. Ha ha ha, no problem. We're neighbors, and you're a warm-hearted person. We should be helping each other out occasionally. Tell me, what is it? I have a Qianbei in Chang'an. It's his 100 years birthday, so I want to go greet him. I'm wondering if you can come with me? Luo Xian eventually said. Yemo felt strange. Since he's your Qianbei, then you can just go by yourself. Why are you getting me to go? Is he going to eat you or something? Luo Xian quickly explained. No, it's like this. This Qianbei stayed in Chen and Uni for a while. Chen and Uni is one of the oldest unis in China. Its past life could be traced but to the Tang dynasty. 60 years ago, a lot of the books in the library were lost due to a big incident. But most of these books were collected by this Qianbei. I love reading books, so my family wants me to go meet this Qianbei and try to see some of those old books. Then go read them. That Qianbei has lived for 100 years. I don't think he's stingy to the point that he wouldn't let you read the books. Plus, if he really is that stingy, then there's no point in me going as well. Yemo said casually. He didn't want to go to public scenes. There would be a lot of people. But that Qianbei has a great-grandson studying at Chang'an Uni. He's very sticky, and I really don't want to go, but I have to. Luo Xian said troubled. Yemo sneered. So you're getting me to be your shield. Sorry, I don't like being shield. Luo Xian said seriously, however. No, I'm not making you as a shield. I really want you to help. You just said we're neighbors. You will help me? And it is not going for long. When I'm looking at the books, you just need to keep him stalled. And the Qi recovery pills are something important my family gave me. I've already lost them. If I can't even do this, then I really don't know what to say when I get back. Yemo dazed. There was allegorical meaning to Luo Xian's words. Was she suspecting that he took her Qi recovery pills? Hearing Luo Xian say that, Yemo's face looked bad and said, It's fine if I go, but it must be a week later. It can't be these few days. Hearing Luo Xian say that, Yemo's face looked bad and said, It's fine if I go, but it must be a week later. It can't be these few days. Even if he were to expose himself, it would have to be after he made his pills and reached stage 4. Otherwise, he would rather not take the pills. But hearing this little girl's words, she was already suspecting him. Luo Xian smiled sweetly. There's still some time before that Qianbei's birthday, so you don't need to worry. Looking at Luo Xian leaving, Yemo suspected even more that his little tricks had been seen through. Perhaps she knew long ago that the Qi recovery pills were on his hands. How were the little girls so smart these days? Luo Xian looked at Yemo go down and then murmured, My Qi recovery pills were definitely taken by him. I didn't think he was this bad. He's a young man, but he's not only lazy and also calls up hookers. He even tricks my things. He's really bad. Big Marshall's sister is right. The people outside are too evil. I just don't know where he hid my chi recovery pills. I'll let you meet the Huakei of Chun and Uni. Your fault for tricking my chi recovery pills. When you offend Huakei, let's see what you're going to do. When you beg me for help, you can give my pills back. When Yemo came back, he noticed that people were already here changing the door, and Luo Xian was watching from the side. She saw Yemo and nodded, but didn't say anything. The door was changed soon, but Luo Xian gave the money. Yemo didn't have much money, and she broke the door, so he didn't offer to pay the money. Looking at Yi Missouri close the door, Luo Xian felt very uncomfortable. She thought this man was not only bad, but also stingy. Even though she broke his door, if he offered to pay, she wouldn't let him pay. But he didn't even make a courtesy offer. But Luo Xian thought about it and still took out her peach wood sword and hung it on Yemo's door. Yemo could see it clearly, of course, and this time it was a peach wood sword indeed. It seemed this Luo Xian still had some conscience. Yemo saw Luo Xian get on the bed and sleep, so he took back his spirit sense. He knew she didn't sleep last night. Originally, Yemo planned to concoct some other pills for practice, but looking at the ingredients in his storage ring, they were very little. If he used them all, perhaps he wouldn't even be able to concoct the chi-increasing pill. Yemo thought and decided in the end to try making the chi-increasing pills first. He had Luo Xian's chi recovery pills now. Although he didn't have 100% certainty to succeed, but it wouldn't be like yesterday when he had no chance at all. He was sure Luo Xian had fallen asleep before he cut a half of the blood coral and took out the Shin Nong cauldron. He dumped the ingredients in and started to melt them into liquid like yesterday. 2 hours later, Yemo felt the depletion of his qi. He immediately took out a qi recovery pill and put it in his mouth. Although his qi recovered some, it was still far from enough. Yemo sighed. This qi recovery pill really wasn't good, but Luo Xian still treated it like treasure. Yemo tipped out 5 pills and dumped them all in his mouth. After eating 6, Yemo finally felt his qi recovered by half. The withered qi fire at the bottom of the cauldron grew fiery again. Another hour later, Yemo ate another 2, and the liquid had started to coagulate. Yemo kept all his mind inside the cauldron. He only had this chance. If he failed, he had no more qi recovery pills left despite having another cauldron full of ingredients. If it was in the cultivation realm, he could set up a qi gathering formation, but now he had nothing. The liquid started to coagulate more and more. Although Yemo wanted to eat 2 more qi recovery pills, he couldn't split his attention to do it. More and more sweat appeared on Yemo's body. His head even started to steam, but at the same time, the aroma from the cauldron grew more and more intense. Eventually, all the pill liquid formed into pills. Yemo yelled, and a crisp sound came from the cauldron. A few faint red pills flew out from the cauldron, and Yemo quickly put them in jade containers. He actually made 9. Yemo was overjoyed. This far exceeded his expectations. Yemo packed away the cauldron and then realized that he was drenched in sweat. He felt a sense of weakness. Making this cauldron of pills made him lose a lot of power. He felt gratitude towards Luo Xian. If he didn't meet this girl, then even in his best state, he wouldn't be able to make them. Just when Yemo stood up, his door was kicked open. Luo Xian looked at Yemo, who was full of fatigue and couldn't even say a word. After a long while, only one word came out of her mouth. You. Yemo looked at Luo Xian helplessly. He wanted to cry. This girl kicked his door twice. The first time, front door, the second time, bedroom door. Luckily, he finished making the pills. Otherwise, he would be finished. Luo Xian, can you not kick my door next time, please? All my privacy is being leaked by you. Yemo sighed. If it wasn't because Luo Xian supplied the qi recovery pills, and he just finished concocting a cauldron of qi increasing pills, and he was in a good mood, perhaps he would have kicked this woman out already. Sorry, I didn't know what you were doing. Luckily, I left a key to the front door, and I called for you a long time and pressed the doorbell, but you didn't open. I thought something happened to you, so... Luo Xian said awkwardly. Yi Emo looked at Luo Xian helplessly. Am I not allowed to go out? I'm not your husband. You don't need to keep your eyes on me day and night. Please don't kick my door again. And don't keep saying sorry. Yi Emo sighed, thinking that the good thing was he already made the pills. He would move away in a few days. He was scared of her. Luo Xian couldn't say that she left a sign on his door, and she would know if he went out or if someone or some ghost came in. She would also know. How could she bear to say such a thing? Although her intention was to see if ghosts had come into his room, but she was too embarrassed to say that. But soon, her eyes fell on a bottle beside Yi Emo. It was obviously her Qi recovery pills bottle. Yi Emo soon realized Luo Xian's eyesight and could no longer say anything to criticize Luo Xian. This was catching the thief and the loot. Yi Emo laughed awkwardly. Ha ha ha, look, I already helped you find your Qi recovery pills. You can take it back, but I think there's only 3 left. I think the rest were eaten by ants. These ants are too evil. Do they not know that these things are very precious? Then, Yi Emo stuffed the bottle back into Luo Xian's hands. Luo Xian took the bottle and opened it, seeing that there was only 3 pills left. Tears started to swell around her eyes again. Yi Emo stood there in embarrassment. After a long while he said, Sorry, I took your Qi recovery pills. It's because I'm also cultivating a martial arts, and these Qi recovery pills have some little use to me. What I said before was a lie. Looking at Luo Xian's sad face, Yi Emo really couldn't get himself to lie to this girl again, and he told the truth. Luo Xian wiped her eyes and held the jade bottle tight, but didn't say anything. Yi Emo sighed. Okay, when you go to that Xianbei's family for birthday, I'll go help and I'll annoy the Huike so he can look for trouble with me. Is that okay? Luo Xian took back the pills carefully and her face recovered. She looked up at Yi Emo. I've known that you took the pills. When you ate the pills and were fine, I thought about it and knew you must also be cultivating inner Qi. I originally wanted you to give a few back to me, but because of me, you were almost killed by the ghost, so I didn't say anything. Yi Emo dazed. So this little girl already knew, but he was still putting up an act. This was really awkward. It seemed that if you thought of others as fools, then you'd be the real fool. Looking at Yi Emo's awkward state, Luo Xian suddenly felt better, but she continued. I originally planned for that Huike to make trouble for you, but since you gave me back my pills, I'll let you go. Come with me. I won't let that Hugai give you trouble in the future. Don't worry, just what? If you have something, just say it. Yi Emo was shameless. Since the awkwardness was over, he recovered to normal immediately. Luo Xian looked at Yi Emo and said hesitantly, Since you are also praising ancient martial arts, I need to tell you that the taboo for martial artists is distraction and lust. I see that you're not bad to the bones, so I need to remind you. It's up to you if you listen or not. Yi Emo was shocked by Luo Xian's lightning words. He knew what he was in Luo Xian's eyes. That policewoman said he was a whorehound. Yi Emo waved his hand. I know, you go back first. I will go in seclusive training these few days. Don't kick my door again. After I finish, I will come out and find you. Although he wanted to compensate 2 Qi increasing pills to Luo Xian, he wouldn't do it before he ascended. PSCH. This was the first time Yi Emo saw Luo Xian laugh like that. He dazed. Luo Xian said speechlessly, Sai, I suggest you not to do that. You probably watch too much fighting dramas. Ha ha ha, don't forget to eat then. I'm going first. Looking at Luo Xian walking out, Yi Emo just realized that he was being laughed at. She must have thought he was acting as those grand masters in those dramas, always going into solitary training. But her suspicion was right. After all, although there was solitary training in ancient martial arts, but those were people at the peak of black level, and they still had to eat food. Looking at Luo Xian walking out, Yemo just realized that he was being laughed at. She must have thought he was acting as those grandmasters in those dramas, always going into solitary training. But her suspicion was right. After all, although there was solitary training in ancient martial arts, but those were people at the peak of black level, and they still had to eat food. Yi Mo didn't explain. He had all the necessary conditions now and was ready to reach stage for Qi gathering. That night, Yi Mo took a shower and cleaned his room. He used wind control to glide to the top of the building. He was really scared of Luo Xian. Perhaps if he didn't come out for 2 days, this girl was going to kick his door again. He didn't have that many doors to be kicked, and if some accidents occurred, his qi might backlash, and that would be deadly. Yi Mo stood at the top of the building, but didn't start cultivating immediately. He gazed into the lights of the distant. Ever since he came here, he had never properly thought of his future. When he first came here, he was thinking if he could cultivate to the point where he could travel space and go back to find Luoying, but now he realized that this place wasn't even suited for cultivation. He could only keep his memories of Luoying in his heart. But he really didn't want to live out an ordinary life like this. Luckily, he found the silver heart grass that gave him hope and the motivation to cultivate. In the following days, he found that although this place wasn't suitable for cultivation, there were many spiritual things. As long as he could find enough of them, perhaps he could still cultivate to almighty state. But these spiritual things not only required luck, but also money and power. He formed Luoyu. He wanted to use it to gather wealth and collect all the spiritual items in the world. During this time, he met Qingxue. She was an emotional girl. When she went to search for him at the Shan Nongjia, he realized that he had already fell in love with this girl. Without him noticing, Qingxue had become equally important as Luoying in his heart. If he couldn't go back to Luoyu to find Luoying, he was willing to live out a peaceful life with Qingxue like this. In fact, Yemo also had another reason to establish Luoyu. He always hoped that when Luoying recovered her memories, she would come look for him due to this name. Yemo sighed and murmured, "Susu, wait for me. I'm going to reach stage for Qi gathering. I can fly on the flying sword now. Even if I have to look everywhere, I will find you." I said that I won't let you suffer your entire life again. Won't let you be harassed. Wait for me. And Qingxue, I want to go see you. Yemo collected his thoughts and sat down. He took out a qi increasing pill and dumped it in his mouth. Then he started to control his qi to do meridian cycles. Yemo, who had been accustomed to the scarcity of spirit qi, was suddenly not used to the intense medicinal powers of the qi increasing pill. Strong spirit qi started to charge at the unopened barrier in Yemo again and again. Even though Yemo was the peak of stage 3 qi gathering, it wasn't easy to reach stage 4 at such an environment. Without qi increasing pill, perhaps he would never be able to reach stage 4. After some time, when the effects of the pill was about to dissipate, Yemo felt that he was still a bit off from breaking that barrier. He didn't even think before eating another 3 pills immediately. The pills melted in his mouth, turning into a large sum of spirit qi, and started to charge at Yemo's meridians. Yemo just felt that pulsating pain in his meridians. He knew this was a precursor for breakthrough. He clenched his teeth and didn't stop for a moment at trying to break through. Rumble. Yemo felt there was a loud bang in his body, and the blocked meridian suddenly opened up. Some black impurities seeped from the surface of his body. Large spirit qi rushed into his dantian. A spirit qi more than twice as strong as before surged out, making his meridians beat with more power. Yemo tried using his spirit qi. It was pompous. He had experienced stage 4 qi gathering before, but didn't have such power before. Was it stronger to break through at places with scarce spirit qi? Although he didn't know if this conjecture was correct, Yemo was sure that his current stage 4 was much stronger than his previous stage for in his past life. He knew there was a milestone between Qi gathering primary stage and middle stage, but the difference in power exceeded Yi Mo's expectation. There were 9 levels in Qi gathering. Level 1 to 3 was primary stage. 4 to 6 was middle stage, and 7 to 9 was tertiary stage. If Qi increased at this rate, wouldn't his Qi multiply many times again at level 7? Yi Mo rejoiced. He wanted to stand up and release his power, but he knew that his state wasn't stabilized yet. He must not slack. It would be tragic if he fell back to Qi gathering level 3 due to his cockiness. Yi Mo didn't dare to think much and started to control his Qi to go in meridian cycles to stabilize his state. Luo Xian stood in front of Yi Mo's door, walking back and forth. She hadn't seen Yi Mo for 2 days, and this made her worry again. Although she hung the peachwood sword on his door, who knew if the ghost could come in? After hesitating for a long time, she finally couldn't resist the worry in her heart and opened the doors again, but what made her disappointed was that the door was still broken and the other 2 doors weren't even closed. Was he harmed already? Luo Xian left Yi Mo's room and sighed. She guessed that it was highly likely her neighbor was harmed. Although this guy was quite annoying, but after living with him for a week, she felt Yi Mo wasn't that bad. Although he liked sucking up to people, but these people were everywhere. She should have persuaded him to leave early, but she was too careless. Plus, he lived next door. Although it wasn't much use, but the more people better. This building was too silent. Thinking about this, Luo Xian looked at the 9th floor as frost flashed across her eyes. I'll go end you tonight. Otherwise, you'd be harming others if you stayed here. She had made up her mind to end that ghost. Although it was strong, she had 3 Qi returning pills now. The moon was high in the sky, and Yi Mo suddenly stood up. His state was completely consolidated. At this moment, he felt that even if there was an Earth-level master in front of him, he would be a joke. Yi Mo had a sudden urge. He took of his dirty clothes and used a few clear water spells on him. Then his body was clean like a fetus. Yi Mo took out a clean set of clothes from his ring and put it on his body before giving out a long sigh. Then he took out his flying sword and under the control his Qi gathering middle stage Qi. The sword transformed into a huge sword that was a few meters long and 1 meter wide. Yi Mo stood on the sword and with a long howl, the sword shot up into the sky and clouds. That excitement and thrill filled Yi Mo's chest. He felt relieved as though he escaped a confinement. Yi Mo darted in and out of the clouds on his sword. The wind blew his hair and clothes, but he didn't want to raise up a barrier. He liked this feeling. It was a feeling of longing and great excitement. Yi Mo howled and the sound echoed his path in the sky. Luo Xian, who just got to the 9th floor, suddenly stopped. Did she hear Yi Mo's howl? Was it wrong? No, it wasn't. It was at the top of the building. In desperation, Luo Xian actually forgot to search for the ghost and quickly climbed up to the 10th floor, then 11th and 12th. Eventually, she got to the top and stood at the top. She felt relaxed as she looked at the lights in the distance. Right, I came here to find Yi Mo. Luo Xian remembered her purpose and looked around. The roof was quiet and empty, making her feel free but lonely. Suddenly, she had the impulse making her want to fly and soar into the sky. But then she sighed. She knew this was impossible. Even her master couldn't fly. Flying, that was just a legend. Yi Mo's clothes? Luo Xian turned around and saw a set of clothes. The clothes were dirty. It was obviously the set Yi Mo was wearing before. So the ghost upstairs harmed him indeed. Now, the clothes confirmed her suspicion. Luo Xian actually felt a faint sense of sadness and lost. Although she wasn't on good terms with Yi Mo, in this dead apartment block, a neighbor was much better than solitude. So the ghost upstairs harmed him indeed. Now, the clothes confirmed her suspicion. Luo Xian actually felt a faint sense of sadness and lost. Although she wasn't on good terms with Yemo, in this dead apartment block, a neighbor was much better than solitude. But soon her eyes went cold and was no longer in the mood to stay at the top of the building. She picked up her long sword and charged down without hesitation. She went from the 12th to the 9th floor, but didn't find anything at all. She felt very strange. Did the thing leave already? If she really saw the ghost, Luo Xian wouldn't be scared. She didn't believe that she would lose to a ghost. But she looked around and still didn't find anything. She actually started to feel scared. The things that were unseen were the scariest. Luo Xian no longer dared to stay on the 9th floor and wanted to go down immediately, the faster the better. But when she just reached the elevator of the 9th floor, she found that the elevator came up and opened by itself. There was nothing inside the elevator. The doors opened for a bit, then closed and went up by itself. Then it stopped at the 10th floor for a moment before going up to the 11th floor. Luo Xian could no longer calm down anymore. She felt goosebumps on her head. She just came down and didn't find anything, but now this elevator was going upstairs by itself. She could no longer hold back the terror in her heart. There was only her living here above level 3, but she couldn't even see anything. Her eyes were supposed to see a lot of things. Originally, there was Moing next door, but he was definitely harmed. Luo Xian resisted the terror in her heart and climbed down from the balcony. She wanted to go downstairs and not stay here for tonight. That elevator was too scary. At this moment, she realized that Moing could embolden her even without doing anything. But now he had gone. When Luo Xian came down, she found that the balcony belonged to Moing. Ah! Luo Xian screamed at Yi Mo, who was not far away. He appeared too suddenly. Luo Xian felt her skin had already started getting more goosebumps. Wasn't he dead? How did he appear here? You said you won't follow me. I didn't kill you. You must not come here, please. Luo Xian had already forgotten she was someone who could hunt ghosts. She actually started to feel scared towards Yemo. Yemo looked at her strangely. What are you on about? Wasn't your courage usually pretty great? And you went up to the 9th floor to hunt ghosts. Why do you have that expression? This room is where I live. You came to my place, and you're telling me not to come over. You're really strange. Did I not tell you I was going into solitary training? Why did you come here? You didn't die? Luo Xian came back to her sense and still looked at Yi Mo unsurely. You're dead, Yi Mo said unhappily. He just reached Qi gathering middle stage and had a ride in the sky. But as soon as he came back, this girl said he was dead. Luo Xian suddenly had an overjoyed expression on her face. She grabbed Yi Mo's hands. You didn't die. You really didn't die. Great. I thought you died. Your hands are still warm. You didn't die. Whimpers. As she spoke, Luo Xian actually started crying, and she almost went into his arms. Yi Mo frowned. Was this girl okay? Why was she so scared? He knew her guts, and that night she fought with the ghost. Although she was pushed downstairs, her qigong still saved her life, and she was a yellow-level middle-stage cultivator. What was going on? What happened? Yi Mo didn't push Luo Xian away. He didn't know what happened to her. Don't move. Yi Mo saw Luo Xian's eyes were strange. He grabbed Luo Xian's wrist. Indeed, in her body there was some dark, unclean qi. She was already a yellow-level warrior and could see things others could not. How could such evil qi attach to her body? Yi Mo used his qi to force out that dark qi and burn it. At this moment, Luo Xian realized that she had ran into Yi Mo's arms. She quickly moved out and said, What was I doing just then? And what happened to you? I saw your clothes at the top of building. You went upstairs. Yi Mo thought that there were no ghosts upstairs now, and even if there were, she shouldn't be scared like this. Plus, since there were no ghosts here, how was she intruded by evil qi? I dumped my clothes there after I finished solitary training. I went to the roof and stood for a while. Because I was full of sweat, I took off my clothes there. Yi Mo said. Luo Xian had calmed down by now and breathed before saying, So that's what happened. I was so scared. I thought something happened to you, so I went upstairs by myself wanting to kill the ghost to get revenge for you. But when I got to the 12th floor, there was nothing. And then I saw your clothes, and I got angrier, so I went down again, but I didn't find anything. Yi Mo asked strangely, Since you didn't find anything, why were you so scared? He didn't ask her why evil qi got inside her body, but he felt quite grateful of Luo Xian. After all, she went to get revenge for him. Luo Xian still had some aftershock fear. I don't know. I thought I wouldn't be afraid of ghosts, but at the 9th floor I saw the elevator go up and open up by itself. There was nothing inside. I didn't see anything, but then the elevator continued up to the 10th floor. Then I became scared and jumped down immediately. I was prepared to leave, but I saw you. Yi Mo frowned and murmured to himself. So the elevator moving has nothing to do with that woman. What was going on? With what woman? Luo Xian asked. Yi Mo waved his hand. Nothing important, but luckily you came down early. If you came down a little later, perhaps you wouldn't be able to come down. Amazing, even I didn't notice this. Moing, tell me, you live here and you're not afraid of ghosts. And you said even you didn't notice. Are you a disciple of the Mao Mountain? At this moment, Luo Xian also knew that Yi Mo was no ordinary person. She was almost harmed living here, but a normal person could live here so freely? That wasn't normal. Yi Mo nodded seriously. I'm an immortal. Ghosts are insects in my eyes. Normal ghosts who see a master like me ran as far as they can. Psht. Luo Xian heard Yi Mo's bullshit and felt much better. After saying that, Yi Mo also felt a little embarrassed. That night, when he went up to kill the ghost, the elevator also moved up by itself, but he didn't notice anything. It was obviously bullshit, saying that ghosts ran as far as they could when they saw him. Okay, you go back to sleep. I'll go up and have a look, Yi Mo said. He really didn't believe something could hide right under his nose. Don't. Although the bleak qi inside Luo Xian's body had been burnt, the lesson she learned tonight was too big. It allowed her to understand that although she was a yellow-level martial artist, there were a lot of things she couldn't control. She still thought that although Yi Mo had some small capabilities, he was still far from her. Even she almost couldn't come down. If Yi Mo went, he would be dead for sure. Yi Mo looked helplessly at this little girl who, a few days ago, still had great aspirations in catching ghosts and said, Okay, then I'll go up in a few days. But since you're so scared, why are you still staying here? Do you not know that this is a haunted building? Luo Xian shook her head. I know. That's why I moved over. I lived at the uni before, but it affected my cultivation and a lot of people kept annoying me. So now I live at the haunted building. No one had come to annoy me these days. I feel so much better. And I'm not scared of ghosts. Ghosts are scared of me. Yi Mo looked at Luo Xian in shock. You sure you're not afraid of ghosts? Luo Xian hesitated for a moment. Most of the times I'm not scared, but the one I met tonight was too powerful. I couldn't even see it, so... So you were scared, right? Yi Mo said. Luo Xian nodded unexpectedly, yes. Then Luo Xian looked at Yi Mo's room and said embarrassingly, Moing, your room door is broken. How about you come over to mine? I still have an empty room. Yi Mo pointed at his 2 empty rooms. I also have empty rooms too. Why do I need to live at your place? Because Luo Xian stumbled for a long time, but still couldn't say it. Yi Mo was in a good mood. He smiled and said, Because you're scared of ghosts, right? Never mind. On account of your qi recovery pills, letting me reach great heaven state, I'll help you once. But I'm telling you, I'm leaving here in at most a week, so you'll be living by yourself still. You're bluffing again, great heaven. Luo Xian rolled her eyes. She wouldn't believe Yi Mo's words, but she continued. Perhaps next week, after going to that Qian Bei's house to look the books, I can leave too. Yimo didn't know if great heaven-level masters could fly, but he felt that now he ascended to level 4, he was so much stronger than before. He wouldn't even care about great heaven state masters. Plus, Zhang Zhihui said there was rarely any great heaven-level masters. What would he be afraid of? Right? Since you're a disciple of Mao Mountain, you shouldn't be afraid of ghosts. There was a loud bang in your apartment a few days ago, and why were you injured? Luo Xian remembered what happened a few days ago and asked. Yi Mo smiled. When did I say I'm a disciple of Mao Mountain? I'm a pill master. Last time I borrowed your qi recovery pills to concoct a few pills. After eating those pills, you will ascend immediately. After you rest up, I'll give you one to eat and you'll know. Luo Xian looked at Yi Mo strangely for a long time before saying, You're really capable, aren't you? Not only are you great heaven level, but you're also a pill master. But never mind about the pills. I suggest you go find a job tomorrow. Otherwise, you daydream too much staying home all day long. Yi Mo seemed to ask casually, Since you're an ancient martial artist, are you from the hidden sects? Yi Mo seemed to ask casually, Since you're an ancient martial artist, are you from the hidden sects? Yeah. Luo Xian seemed not to notice Yi Mo's question. Then do you know about Tai? Yi Mo asked casually. Luo Xian nodded. Of course. Tai is one of the 3 big sects. How can I not know? Plus, MHM, wait, how do you know about Tai? Who are you? Luo Xian suddenly woke up and looked at Yi Mo full of vigilance. Yi Mo was excited upon hearing that Luo Xian knew about Tai, and he was able to get it out of her so easily. Although he could also find out from Zhang Zhihui. Now, since Luo Xian asked, he replied, I'm from the hidden sects. Of course I know about Tai. Don't you know I'm cultivating ancient martial arts? I'm just asking if you're from the hidden sections. Where is your sect? Luo Xian wasn't relaxed because of Yi Mo's words at all, and was more serious instead. Of course it's at Wuliang Mountain. Why are you even asking this? Yi Mo only knew about hidden sects in Wuliang Mountain, nowhere else. Luo Xian suddenly pulled out the sword from her waist and looked vigilantly at Yi Mo and said, You lied to me. You're not from the hidden sects, and you don't know about the Tai. Yi Mo looked at her sword strangely and thought, They were talking nicely just then, and why did she suddenly become so aggressive? He didn't know where Luo Xian saw through. He didn't say anything wrong. He even went to the hidden sect at Wuliang Mountain. Why did this girl say he was lying? Suddenly, Yi Mo was struck by a thought. He remembered what the Shao Daoist said. The hidden sects were divided into inner and outer hidden sects and semi-hidden sections. However, Xian Daoist said the inner hidden sects were just a legend and they never came into the world. Was this Luo Xian from the inner hidden sects? If that was the case, then Tai was also an inner hidden sect. If his hypothesis was right, then he wouldn't be able to know about Tai even from Zhang Zijui. I don't know how you know about the hidden sects, but I can tell you that no one in the hidden sects know about Tai. We all have a rule in the hidden sects that if someone who isn't from the hidden sects knows about it, they must be killed. So I will kill you. Then Luo Xian raised her sword and was even a little shaky. Yi Mo reached out his hand. He knew about Luo Xian's character. It was just a subconscious movement. He didn't feel any killing intent from her. He then said, It's up to you if you want to kill me, but since you want to repay debt with feud, then I have nothing to say. But are you going to kill outer hidden sect people if they knew you are from the inner hidden sect? Luo Xian's hands shook more. You know about us inner hidden sect people indeed. How do you know? We never come into the world. Every 50 years, our people would come out once, but we never cause any trouble. How did you know? That elevator went up again. Yi Mo suddenly said something completely irrelevant. Luo Xian's hands shook again, and her sword slunk. She didn't really want to kill Yi Mo. It was just a subconscious action. If you talk about any inner hidden sect things, you will be killed and you will also bring this upon your family. I don't know how you know about Tai E, but you must not mention it again. Don't even mention inner hidden sections. Luo Xian's tone was shaky. Yi Emo looked at Luo Xian with surprise. If I mention it, then at most I die. What are you scared of? Luo Xian shook her head helplessly. If I know that you mentioned such things, but I didn't kill you, then I will be killed by them. And this may even affect my sect. So domineering? Yi Emo frowned. This was more dictator than Hitler. Can we not talk about this? And don't mention it in the future. Luo Xian looked weakly at Yi Emo. She really couldn't do it, killing Yi Emo. And she must not let her martial sister know about this, nor Yulin, martial brother. Yi Emo originally wanted to ask her how long she had been out and where the entrance to the hidden sect was, but he couldn't say it because he knew that Luo Xian wouldn't tell. It was probably better that he followed her when she went back. With his current power, it was easy for him even to follow an Earth-level master. Thinking about this, Yi Emo could only say, "Okay, I won't ask you or say anything you." "Never mind, I'll go to your side with you. On account of you not killing me." Going back to her house, Luo Xian was in a low mood and went to sleep immediately. Yi Emo took out the only supplementary ingredients he had left and made a cauldron of lotus life seed and some more face-preserving pill. After reaching stage 4, his success rate increased greatly. After the pills were ready, Yi Emo packed and saw it was still 3 a.m. in the morning. He was prepared to go upstairs and see what the thing that made the elevator move was. He went up the elevator and scanned again, but still didn't find anything. "Why don't you sleep?" As soon as Yi Emo walked to the balcony, Luo Xian came out and asked. Yi Emo studied Luo Xian. She wore her clothes neatly. He asked strangely, "Are you not going to sleep as well? Where are you going tonight?" "I slept for a while and was worried, so I got up." Luo Xian hesitated and said, "I already said I won't say anything. What else are you still worried about? But I might leave tomorrow. I can't stay here anymore." "When are you preparing to leave?" Yi Emo was going to get revenge with Earth Fiend first. They dared to mess with him. He wouldn't let them go like this. "It's not that, never mind. It's not related to you," Luo Xian said despondently. Yi Emo didn't want to care about this girl's business and took out a qi-increasing pill and gave it to Luo Xian and said, "Eat this pill. I can guarantee that your power will increase by 1 stage. My pills are very precious. This one is worth 8 of your qi recovery pills. I only used 8 of your pills." Luo Xian took the pill and smiled. "Okay, since you say it's worth it, then it is. It was my fault before. Anyway, I won't eat it now. I'll eat it when I get back." Yi Emo shook his head and said, "No, you must eat it now. First, it's too precious. Secondly, I'm a pill maker, and if something is wrong after you eat it, I can help." Luo Xian frowned and looked at the faint red pill and hesitated. "You're not trying to do something to me, are you?" Yi Emo said speechlessly, "Okay, since you think I'm harming you and you don't want me to pay you back for your pills, then give the pill back to me. I'm going. Don't be so stingy. I'll eat it." Seeing Yi Emo reach his hand over, Luo Xian dumped the pill into her mouth. She originally wanted to taste what it tasted like, but it melted immediately. A burning sensation went across her meridians, making her feel shaky. She looked at Yi Emo uncertainly. Was he trying to harm me? Although she knew that Yi Emo had a lot of flaws, but her perceptions of people were accurate. She never saw any ill will from Yi Emo's eyes. What was this? "Hurry up and sit down and make this power yours. This is your only chance." Yi Emo's voice sounded just in time. In the desperation of the moment, Luo Xian did what Yi Emo told her, and she suddenly felt that hot power turned into inner qi while opening up her meridians. Was this pill really that precious? Luo Xian didn't dare to keep thinking and focused all her attention on controlling this power. Although 4 of Qi-increasing pills were needed to make Yi Mo reach level 4. One was enough for a yellow-level girl like Luo Xian. Luo Xian just felt her power surged up rapidly. Soon she reached from yellow-level middle stage to yellow-level tertiary stage, but the power of the pill was still potent. If she didn't continue digesting this power, she felt that she was going to burn. After reaching yellow-level tertiary stage, her power surged again, reaching the peak of latter stage, black-level primary stage, black-level primary stage peak, before finally calming down and finished being digested by Luo Xian. It was just one pill, but it could make Luo Xian reach black-level primary stage peak. Luo Xian didn't even dare to believe it, but neither did Yi Mo expect it to be so useful. Although the potency of the pill was strong, it was also related to Luo Xian's talent. Luo Xian resisted the excitement in her heart and started to focus her mind and stabilize her power. When the day was just bright, she finally opened her eyes and checked her power. It had fully stabilized at black-level primary stage peak. She was just one step away from middle stage. You really are a pill master? How can you make such a precious pill? Such pills don't exist, even at our place. Luo Xian stood up in shock. Yi Mo smiled. I think you should go take a shower first. Yi Mo smiled. I think you should go take a shower first. Luo Xian exclaimed and just realized that her body was covered in dirt and grime. She quickly rushed into her room. An hour later, Luo Xian walked out in white robes with more intense spiritual beauty. She looked fresher and out of this world. She even felt more mature than before. If an ordinary person stood next to Luo Xian, she would feel embarrassed. Yi Mo was no normal person, of course. He looked at Luo Xian with spiritual and ethereal temperament and said, Your cultivation method is not bad. You actually have some immortal essence to you. It's much better than normal cultivation methods. At this moment, Luo Xian knew that Yi Mo was not an ordinary person at all. She walked in front of Yi Mo and bowed. Mo brother, thank you. I know that you're no ordinary person. Please forgive my insolence. My cultivation method is a top one indeed, but due to sect laws, I can't tell you. Sorry, I misunderstood you before. Please forgive me. If someone told Luo Xian now that someone like Yi Mo would find hookers on the streets, she would be the first to not believe it. Yi Mo smiled. Don't worry about the misunderstandings. To you, it doesn't even matter what sort of person I am. Although your cultivation method is not bad, it's nothing in my eyes. At most, you have this temperament of immortality to you when you are at the later stages of cultivation, but that's about it. One, you can't get long life. Second, you can't ascend into a higher realm. Such cultivation method, you think I would be interested? Mo brother? Luo Xian looked at Mo Ing in surprise. Although she knew Mo Ing was a master, Luo Xian was still shocked by his words. Her cultivation method was very precious, even in an entire small dimension. So many people dreamed of getting it. Yi Mo laughed with pride. There's no point in talking about these to you. If you are willing to tell me where you guys are, or tell me how to get in, I will also give you a face-preserving pill and lotus life seed. Do you know what face-preserving pill is? If you eat it, your face will never age. Lotus life pill can recover any injuries. How about it? This deal is quite the good trade. Luo Xian's face changed and immediately shook her head. I don't want her pills. You must not try to get into the small world. Even if you have greater heaven state power, you will still be killed. Suddenly, Luo Xian picked up her phone and said worriedly, My martial sister is calling for me. I'm going. Remember, broken 7 stars, heaven control position. Don't go there. Then Luo Xian ran out of the house with her bag like a thief. Yi Mo laughed to himself. This Luo Xian was really interesting, telling him in such way. She told him in the end. Broken 7 stars, heaven control position, was at the entrance to the small world. If that was the case, then he really wouldn't be able to find it if no one told him unless his spirit sense could cover an entire country or the planet. But spirit sense covering planet, even in the cultivation realm, few people could do this, much less him. Yi Mo was planning to give these 2 pills to Luo Xian, but since she already left, then never mind. He had decided to annihilate the thing upstairs and then leave Chun in tomorrow. Yi Mo stood at the side of the elevator and pressed the button. The elevator came up from level 1 slowly, but before it reached level 8, Luo Xian ran back quickly. "You're not thinking of going upstairs, are you?" Luo Xian looked at Yi Mo, who stood at the door of the elevator, and asked in surprise. Yi Mo nodded. "I'm going upstairs. Didn't you Marshall's sister call for you? Why did you come back?" At this moment, the elevator stopped at level 8. Luo Xian quickly grabbed Yi Mo's arms and said, "That thing is really strong. Even I can't see it. You shouldn't go up. My Marshall's sister called me to meet up with her at night. Can you go with me to that Qian Bei's place in the day?" "Okay, but I'm leaving tomorrow. Are you not scared to live here by yourself?" Yi Mo asked. Luo Xian shook her head. "I might leave tonight. My Marshall sister called me, meaning something must have happened. In that case, I'll just give you these 2 pills. Although your qi recovery pill isn't worth much, but without it, I can't make these pills, so I'm really grateful to you." Yi Mo was telling the truth. He not only thanked for the pills, but thanked more for Luo Xian risking her life to tell him the entrance to the hidden sections. If she was caught out, she would be dead. "These are too precious. I can't take them." Although Luo Xian really wanted that face-preserving pill, she didn't dare to carry something so precious on her. Yi Mo still stuffed the 2 pills to her. He could see the aspiration in Luo Xian's eyes. As for magic artifact, Yi Mo didn't give any to her. This was because Yi Mo believed that 3 pills were enough to pay Luo Xian back. "Luo Xian, you're not going to make him go with you, right?" Yi Mo and Luo Xian just walked out of the door and was stopped by a girl. Yi Mo knew this girl. It was the girl who came to get Luo Xian last time when he drank soy milk. "Yeah, thank you, Ziyin. This makes your mission a lot easier," Luo Xian said. Ziyin looked strangely at Yi Mo and then whispered by Luo Xian's ear, "Luo Xian, I feel like you changed a lot today and you're a lot prettier. There's also a sense I can't describe about you. Don't tell me you went in bed with him. Is he your boyfriend? But I don't feel he's very reliable." Luo Xian's face was fully red and slapped Ziyin's hand and said, "Ziyin, what are you on about? We're just neighbors. It's not as dirty as you think." "Are you sure he wasn't with you last night?" Ziyin said suspiciously. Luo Xian opened her mouth but couldn't say anything. Yi Mo was indeed living at her apartment last night. Seeing Luo Xian's expression, Ziyin had the expression of "I knew so." But she didn't continue talking to Luo Xian and instead walked in front of Yi Mo and said, "I know you're not very reliable. I don't know what luck you got to make Luo Xian follow you, but Luo Xian is a really good girl. She's very innocent. Since you did it, you need to be responsible." Luo Xian quickly pulled Ziyin to the side. "Stop saying that. We're going. Ziyin, goodbye." In her 2 years at Chunnan Uni, Ziyin was the closest friend she had. Tonight, she might be leaving with her Marshall sister, and this made her feel guilty to Ziyin. "Wait for a bit." Ziyin grabbed Luo Xian and said, "Your big sister has good eyes. You can ask her. When I went close to him, he smelt really nice, very refreshing. He probably isn't someone who sleeps around. I wish you happiness, Luo Xian." Although Yi Mo didn't want to hear these things, but his hearing was so strong that he couldn't avoid it. He just smiled faintly and didn't put it to heart. "Mo, brother, let's go." Ziyin was talking rubbish. "Don't worry about it." Luo Xian quickly pulled Yi Mo onto a taxi and left. And Chanhua family, although it wasn't a big family in China, it was very famous in Chunnan. This was because all the people in the Hu family had long life. Now, the Hu of the Hu family was 100 years old, and it said that his body was still very healthy. Another point was that the Hu family had this Hu Chemical Industries company, which was said to be in the top 500 in the world. So, although the Hu family didn't have anyone special political-wise, it was still the ruling family in Shannon. When Yi Mo saw Hu, he almost couldn't believe that Hu was 100 years old, because he only looked like he was in his 60s. According to this Hu could live for at least 20 years, and he was a black-level peak stage master. Yi Mo really didn't expect him to be an ancient martial arts cultivator. He didn't know how Luo Xian knew about Hu, but he thought about the Zhang Zhihui of the Zhang family and sighed. The masters were all hidden among the civilians. If he didn't see it with his own eyes, he definitely wouldn't believe in that a normal city like Chanan there would be such a master. Grandpa Hua, I originally wanted to wait for your birthday to come with Master Zhu, but I'm going to leave Chanan in these few days, so I come here to greet you. This painting is for your Grandpa Hua. I wish that you live a long life. Luo Xian then took out an ancient painting and gave it to Hu. Yi Mo praised. He didn't expect Luo Xian to have such an obedient and sweet side. He never saw it in her. But from her tone, Yi Mo could tell that she knew about Hu through a teacher named Zhu. Of course, Hu laughed and took the painting. Not bad, not bad. Such an intelligent and pretty girl, and you're still so kind. Old Zhu said you wanted to see my collection. That's fine. Come, I'll take you to the library. After you see the books, then we can have a chat. Who is this? Hu said and looked at Yi Mo. Luo Xian quickly explained with a blushing face. Oh, Grandpa Hua, this is Mo Ing, my boyfriend. He came with me. Your boyfriend, sigh. Okay, this boy doesn't have good fortune. Hua could casually scan Mo, and a sliver of astuteness flashed across his eyes. Originally, Yi Mo was planning to give a gift, but upon seeing this glance, he immediately gave up the thought. This old thing actually had some killing intent in his eyes the first time he saw him. Yi Mo sneered. He finally understood why Luo Xian wanted him to come, and even said that he was her boyfriend. It was not just Hu that had intentions for her. Even Hu, this old fart, wanted her. Otherwise, why did he have such killing intent when Luo Xian introduced him? Yi Mo sneered. He finally understood why Luo Xian wanted him to come, and even said that he was her boyfriend. It was not just Hu that had intentions for her. Even Hu, this old fart, wanted her. Otherwise, why did he have such killing intent when Luo Xian introduced him? Seeing that Yi Mo just smiled plainly and didn't show any customs, Luo Xian quickly pulled Yi Mo behind and said, Grandpa Hua, Mo Ing doesn't really like to talk. Please don't mind him. Haha, it's fine. Young people, it's natural to be a bit shy. Come, I'll take you to the library. Hu brought the two to the library and said, Look for a while first, then we can eat lunch later. Yi Mo's spirit sense followed Hu and found that after he left the library, his face sunk into bleakness and ordered, Notify Kay to come back immediately and, although Yi Mo didn't hear the words afterwards, he knew that this old guy wasn't as good to talk to as he seemed. What are you looking at? I hope you don't mind me saying that you are my boyfriend. You don't know how annoying that Hu is. And his grandpa always likes to pull me together with him. If possible, I really don't want to come. Luo Xian said apologetically. Her face was a bit blushed. Yi Mo smiled. Of course I wouldn't mind. You need to be faster at finding your book. That Hu would be coming soon. How long do you think you will need? This quick? I heard Ziyan say that Hu was going out today. He shouldn't be back so quick. I think it's going to take me a day. Do you see how many books are here? Luo Xian said helplessly. The books here were kept rather well, but because they had been there for so long, they had some ancient smells. You need that long. Yi Emo frowned. After a while, he said, What are you looking for? I'll help you look for it. Luo Xian didn't hide anything, and immediately replied, My master wants me to find a copy of an I Luo Sutra. I've been searching for it in the uni library for a year or so, but I still hadn't found it. You don't need to look for it. I will help you. Then Yi Emo scanned his spirit sense on these books. Luo Xian looked at Yi Emo in surprise and asked, There are so many books here. How are you going to find it? How about we look for it together? Yi Emo waved his hand. Don't move. I'm calculating where this book would be. Luo Xian looked at Yi Emo with even more uncertainty. Was he a prophet or something? Even a prophet wouldn't be able to predict where the Enai Luo Sutra would be in this place. This Emoing was too magical. Not only a pill master and Mao Mountain disciple, was he also a prophet? Although she was dubious about Yi Emo's words, Luo Xian still didn't interrupt Yi Emo. She chose to believe Yi Emo. She felt the more she knew about Emoing, the more confused she was about him. The first time they met, she thought she saw through him, but now it was getting more and more unclear. Yi Emo's spirit sense quickly scanned through the books here, but didn't find anything. Was the Enai Luo Sutra not here? He scanned it carefully a second time, but soon found something wasn't right. In a Tao De Sutra, there were 2 pages in the middle that was blank, and 1 page had the hidden words Enai Luo. The other page was empty and had nothing. This book was strange. If he didn't have spirit sense, he wouldn't even be able to see it. Yi Emo walked over to that Tao De Sutra and took it. Seeing Yi Emo do that, Luo Xian asked strangely, Emo brother, this is a Tao De Sutra. I'm trying to find Enai Luo Sutra. Yi Emo smiled faintly and said, Don't worry. Then he flipped to the 2 blank pages. However, due to it was an ancient book, the pages were rather yellow. There's nothing here. Usually, these ancient books have some blank pages. These pages are for readers to write comments and notes. Luo Xian said. Yi Emo flipped it to that single page and said, Look carefully. Enai Luo. Luo Xian almost yelled out, but soon. She took the book from Yi Emo's hands excitedly. She said joyfully, It really is Enai Luo. This must be the Enai Luo Sutra. This is the latter half. There should be a former half. Luo Xian quickly saw the 2 letters Luo Nya. Yi Emo scanned his spirit sense again, but said, The former half isn't here. I didn't see it. See it. Aren't you calculating it? Emo brother, you really are capable. You can even calculate this. Luo Xian's eyes were full of admiration. She didn't have much hope at the very beginning, and her sect just gave her this mission to test her luck. But she actually found it. Thank you, Yi brother. Luo Xian held on the book tightly. But Yi Emo wasn't so optimistic like Luo Xian. He said, Luo Xian, I suspect that Huke wouldn't let you take the book out so easily. Even if you ask him for it, what if he disagrees? Plus, if he noticed what was wrong with this book, he wouldn't let you take it away no matter what. Hearing Yi Emo's words, Luo Xian frowned. Obviously, she also realized this problem. Don't worry, I have a way to take it out for you. Yi Emo suddenly stopped talking and looked at the book, contemplating again. What's wrong? Luo Xian asked immediately. Give me the book again. Yi Emo took it from Luo Xian and pulled the second blank page. With a little force it fell. It was only put inside, but not a part of the book itself. Yi Emo looked at the page for a while and ripped it again. This time it wasn't ripped apart. Luo Xian also saw Yi Emo's actions. He didn't even rip apart a piece of paper. She was stunned as well. Yi Emo held this paper in the middle of his palm and used Hai Chi fire. This paper was immediately burnt to ash. A golden paper with similar size to the peiju appeared in Yi Emo's hands. What is this? Luo Xian asked in amazement, although she didn't know what this was. She knew that this extremely thin golden paper was very valuable. Yi Mo was very shocked. This golden paper was too scary because as soon as he scanned his spirit sense in, it immediately disappeared as though sand into sea. This was definitely something significant. Yi Mo knew how to make magic artifact and had seen some spirit artifact as well. He even saw his master's magic artifact, but this gold paper gave him a feel that he couldn't see through. This thing must be more valuable than all spirit artifact. Yi Mo even thought this was a spirit relic, but this was too astonishing. Spirit relic was in the legends, even in cultivation realm. How could it appear on the earth? Plus, he never heard of cultivators on the earth. This thing is very precious, precious to a degree that I can't fathom. Yi Mo fell silent for a while before answering. Luo Xian also understood and looked hesitantly at Yi Mo, saying, "Is this thing very important to you?" Yi Mo nodded, "Yes, very." He really wanted this golden paper, but he knew that since Luo Xian wanted this book, it meant that this was the thing their sect was also looking for. Luo Xian bit her lips, and after a while she said, "Since it's useful to you, then take it. I don't know anything. I'll take back this book. If I take back other things, my sect won't be able to know what they are anyways and would perhaps just leave them there." Yi Mo looked at Luo Xian in astonishment. She actually gave this golden paper to him. Seeing Yi Mo's reaction, Luo Xian suddenly breathed easy. "To be honest, without your help, I wouldn't be able to find this as well. Perhaps my sect just wants to see this book and your paper just happened to be put inside. You found it, so of course it belongs to you. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. And this thing isn't really useful to me anyways." Suddenly, Yi Mo's face changed and the golden leaf and paper disappeared. He looked strangely at Luo Xian and said, "Luo Xian, let's go. Huokei is back." "Okay, we found the thing anyway." As soon as Luo Xian and Yi Mo walked out of the library, Huokei's voice sounded, Xian, you didn't even tell me that you were coming here. I'm back." Luo Xian frowned but didn't say anything. Huoku, with the company of a middle-aged man, came over. He saw Luo Xian walk out of the library and was a little bemused. He said, "Luo Xian, aren't you going to look at the books?" Luo Xian smiled and said, "Grandpa Hua, my sister just called me saying that she needs me. I want to go over and see first and come back in a few days." "Huh. Xian, why are you leaving already? Don't be in such a hurry. I'll help you find your sister later. Let's eat lunch first." Huokei said desperately. Yi Mo was automatically ignored by him. "No need, I'm going." "Goodbye, Grandpa Hua. Let's go, Moing." Then Luo Xian grabbed Yi Mo's hand, and before Huoku could reply, they just walked out. Huoku looked carefully on Yi Mo and didn't find him carrying any books with him. Then he looked bleakly at Luo Xian. Just when he wanted to say something, he was pulled by the man next to him. When he reacted, Luo Xian and Yi Mo had been long gone. Huoku signaled Huokei with his eyes, and Huokei immediately followed, rambling something behind Luo Xian. "Martial brother Liang, why did you pull me?" Huoku looked at the man and asked. The middle-aged man said with a bleak face, "Martial brother, do you know who that man was?" "He is Yi Mo, the one who took the blood coral." "Then what are we waiting for? Hurry up and stop them," Huoku said desperately. This martial brother Liang sneered. "Brother, you underestimate him too much. Do you know he lose sect? It's said that the 7 people they sent all died in his hands, including the Gongzai. Why do you think we can stop him?" This martial brother Liang sneered. "Brother, you underestimate him too much. Do you know he lose sect? It's said that the 7 people they sent all died in his hands, including the Gongzai. Why do you think we can stop him?" "He's this strong." Kuming gasped some cold air and felt scared. If he attacked Yi Mo just then, Perhaps his Hu family would be gone now. Martial brother Liang sneered bleakly and said, Martial brother, don't worry. We're not a match for him indeed, but I've contacted the Hilu sect people and some other people. Do you think he can get away? Hilu sect was very shocked after their 7 masters died, and they sent out large amounts of masters this time. To them, the blood coral is second priority. Getting revenge by killing Emo is their top priority. Huoku nodded. Okay, Liang brother. You go contact the Dao friends from Hilu sect, and I'll go investigate where he's living at. But we need to let that little girl live. Kate is very attracted to her. By the way, Martial brother, do you know that girl's background? I asked old Zhu. He said a friend introduced her. Martial brother Liang shook his head and said, This girl cultivated ancient martial arts for sure, but I can't tell which sect she came from. She probably is a small sect disciple. Otherwise, she can't be with someone like Emo. Xian, wait for me. I finally came back. Huike kept rambling behind Emo and Luo Xian. He really did have a difficult journey coming back. He was prepared to make things happen tonight and prepared tranquilizer pills to tranquilize Luo Xian when they ate. Then he would do his business, so Luo Xian would be his woman. What he didn't expect was that Luo Xian actually left and didn't even drink tea. What he didn't expect more was that his grandpa didn't stop Luo Xian and let him stop her. But Luo Xian didn't even look at him and quickly disappeared with that man. Emoing, you looked not right. Did something happen? After they walked out a long distance, Luo Xian asked. Emo nodded. That man who entered the house as well probably recognized me. If I'm not wrong, he'll be inviting people to kill me tonight. Emo observed very clearly. Just when he walked out from Huoku's house, he saw that man's face twitch and his body even shake a little. From this, Emo was certain that he was recognized. An ordinary person dares to attack you? Don't worry. If he invites too many people, I will help you. I'm a black level master now. I can take on 10s of him. Luo Xian immediately comforted. She felt her power skyrocket, and so did her confidence. Emo looked strangely at Luo Xian and intentionally hesitated for a moment before saying, Are you sure you can take him on? Luo Xian immediately said, I think your brain isn't working well from concocting too much pills. Although concocting pills and foreseeing is good, but your power is what matters the most. You're lucky you met me. If you met someone else, you wouldn't be free just because of that powerful pills you had. Perhaps you would be kept in custody to make pills. But to be honest, you're really good. You found the book such quickly amongst all those books. I really admire you. Emo smiled. That old man Hua is black level peak stage, and that man who came with him is earth level primary stage. If they ask for help, it would all be earth levels. You sure you can take on them? Huh. Luo Xian looked at Emo in disbelief and hesitated for a while before saying, You can see what power level they are. Of course. You're a black level primary stage girl. It's not that I don't believe you. What if you happen not to beat them? I will suffer due to you. Emo said casually. Luo Xian's face was bulging red and looked at the calm Emo and suddenly stomped Emo's feet. Were you playing with me intentionally just then? You already knew they are earth-level masters. Then why are you staying here? Hurry up and run. Her face was red, half due to Emo knowing that she was bluffing and half that she was really worried. If these people were really as strong as Emo said, then even her martial sister would be no match for these people. Seeing Luo Xian stomp his feet, Emo didn't mind and couldn't even be bothered to dodge. He said plainly, because I'm not afraid of them at all. If I was, I wouldn't be coming with you today. Luo Xian stared at Emo for a moment before saying, I feel like you changed a lot today. Last time, you said you needed a few days before you would come with me to the Hu family. Was it because you hadn't broken through yet? Then you used my chi recovery pills to make those pills, and you broke through. Then you would come with me today. The pill I ate in the morning was also the same batch? Yi-Mo nodded. Indeed, the reason I came with you was because I broke through. I gave you 3 pills and came with you to repay you for the 8 Qi recovery pills. He secretly commended Luo Xian for remembering exactly what he said a few days ago. So that's it. Luo Xian breathed easy, but suddenly she froze and looked at Yi-Mo in shock. Don't tell me you were telling the truth when you said you were Great Heaven State. Are you really a Great Heaven State Master? Are Great Heaven Masters very strong? Yi-Mo asked speechlessly. Of course, in the small. No, in my place, the Great Heaven Masters are very rare. Even our sect only has 1 Great Heaven Master. You tell me if they are strong? Luo Xian said very seriously. Yi-Mo really wanted to ask what sect she was in, but he didn't eventually. He could only say, I'm not Great Heaven, but I'm not too sure exactly what state I'm in, but... Yi-Mo wanted to say that he could probably kill Great Heaven State, but he didn't. After all, he hadn't seen one before. He knew the difference between Black Level and Earth Level. If the difference between Great Heaven and Earth was greater, then he really wouldn't be sure. Can Great Heaven Masters fly? Yi-Mo thought for a long time and couldn't find a way to compare, so he could only ask this. Luo Xian looked strangely at Yi-Mo. After a long time, she said speechlessly, Are you really an ancient martial arts cultivator? I really suspect that. If you can fly, then wouldn't you be an immortal? I've never heard of someone who could cultivate to an extent that they can fly. Now, I don't even know what you're saying is true or false. Luo Xian really didn't know. If Yi-Mo liked to lie to people, the pills he gave were real, and he could find the Luo and I Sutra. This meant that Yi-Mo was no ordinary person. But sometimes his words didn't sound so reliable. Yi-Mo, however, nodded. If they can't fly, then they should be no match for me. If I want to kill them, it shouldn't be too hard. Luo Xian rolled her eyes at Yi-Mo. You speak as if you can fly. I won't talk smack with you now. We should go to the school quickly and find the former half of the Ni Luo Sutra. Then I'll take you to my martial sister. Those people shouldn't be able to find us there. Yi-Mo was speechless. He thought to himself, I really could fly, though, but he didn't need to tell Luo Xian that. After all, she and him were not people of the same world. The small world she was in should have some spirit grass. After he was done with the things outside, he would go to the small world and get revenge from Tai while getting some spirit things. The two got off the taxi at Chun, and Luo Xian suddenly stopped and thought of a key question. Yi-Mo saw Luo Xian's strange eyes and asked, Why are you looking at me? Not right. You said they recognized you. Is your name fake too? And why were those people hunting after you? Luo Xian was very meticulous, and because of Yi-Mo's interruption, she forgot to ask some questions, but now she remembered. Yi-Mo said plainly, It's fine if you know. My original name is Yi-Mo. Because I got a blood coral, these people want to catch me and rob the blood coral away. You really have blood coral on you? Luo Xian heard from her martial sister a few days ago about the blood coral. She was really shocked when Yi-Mo mentioned it, but she immediately understood what pill Yi-Mo gave to her. It was pill made from the blood coral. Yi-Mo could actually make the blood coral into pills. This meant that he really didn't lie when he said he was a pill master. Yi-Mo saw Luo Xian's expression and knew she guessed it out. He nodded. You guessed right. The pill I gave to you was made from the blood coral. It was such a precious pill. No wonder I could keep ascending. Luo Xian exclaimed and said again, You brother, thank you. You actually gave me such precious pills. Yi-Mo smiled. Theoretically, without your Qi recovery pill, I wouldn't be able to make the Qi increasing pill, so you don't need to be thankful. Originally, I lost out a little, but now I earn big. I should be thanking you. Luo Xian knew Yi-Mo was talking about that golden paper. She smiled and didn't feel at all that Yi-Mo earned big. Although Chun Uni wasn't the most famous uni in China, it had a long history. There were all sorts of genius and handsome guys and girls there. Although Chun Uni wasn't the most famous uni in China, it had a long history. There were all sorts of genius and handsome guys and girls there. Luo Xian was undoubtedly an angel beauty in the uni, however. Because of this, she always stayed at the library and rarely went to class, much less school activities. So although she was the dream lover of many guys, she would never talk to anyone. It was hard even for girls to talk to Luo Xian, much less guys. Zi Yuan was an exception, but it was just her. Although many people wanted to know Luo Xian through Ziyin, the results were disappointing. Although there were many people who continued to search for Luo Xian every day and wanted to meet her with their persistence, no one had really seen her go out with anyone. What made everyone disappointed was that not only did she ignore these people who went for her, but she even moved out of the school. No one even knew where she lived now. But today, Luo Xian actually walked into the uni while laughing with a man. This made all the guys drop their jaws on the ground. Although the guy looked not bad, he wasn't handsome to a heavenly shocking degree. How did he take down the angel of Chun? And Yi Mo felt strange that so many people looked at him when he walked into the uni. The eyes didn't seem very friendly. Luo Xian smiled. She knew what was going on, but she didn't need to explain such things to Yi Mo. Although Yi Mo seemed the same age as these students, in her view, his inner character and knowledge were far superior. She felt she couldn't see through Yi Mo at all. She believed she was quite beautiful. At least she didn't see anyone prettier than her, but being with Yi Mo, she didn't feel like she was pretty at all. This was because Yi Mo never looked at her with those admiring eyes, nor did he say any flirty words. His eyes were always clean and without any other thoughts. Just when Yi Mo wanted to ask where the library was, there was a rambling at the school entrance. There are people fighting. A few students yelled, and everyone rushed over. To these extremely bored students, such events were rather interesting. Yi Mo didn't want to go, but Luo Xian said, "The one fighting is a martial arts cultivator." A martial arts cultivator would be fighting at school entrance? Yi Mo also looked over. He knew both the fighters. He didn't expect to meet Su Ping here. Yi Mo didn't even think and walked towards the school entrance. Luo Xian also followed Yi Mo. Wu Jinjuan was smacked to the ground, unable to get up. His two followers were also on the ground. The man hitting didn't stop and kept kicking with his leg. Young Master Wu cursed. What bad luck he had been having, always getting beaten up. Yi Mo walked over and stopped the big man. "Su brother, I thought I would only be able to see you a year later. I didn't expect to see you here. Life is really full of wonders." Yi Mo really didn't expect to see Su Ping here. This made him very happy. If it wasn't Su Ping's star jade, his flying sword wouldn't reach its current quality. And Su Ping was a very good person. Due to his strength last time, Yi Mo didn't tell him the truth and felt guilty. Now that he met Su Ping, he immediately wanted to catch up with him. The man stopped kicking and saw it was Yi Mo. He immediately exclaimed in joy, "Mo brother, it really is you. I was searching for your news last time, and I heard you were forced down the cliff by those sons of bitches. I really didn't expect to meet you here. This is great. Brother, it really is you. Save me. Your friend is so unreasonable. I was the one who invited you to go chat up girls last time, Wu Jinjuan." Young Master Wu saw it was Yi Mo and immediately begged for help and excitement. Su Ping looked strangely at Yi Mo and asked, "Mo brother, you know this guy?" In his mind, Yi Mo would never know a young master like Su Ping. Yi Mo nodded helplessly. "Yeah, Su brother, please let him go on account of me." Xu Ping didn't ask Yi Mo why and just yelled at Wu Jinjuan, "Piss off. Next time I see you acting cocky again, I'll beat you each time." Su Ping could also tell that Yi Mo wasn't that close to this Wu Jinjuan. Su Ping didn't hit very hard. After all, Wu Jinjuan was an ordinary person. Hearing Su Ping's words, Wu Jinjuan immediately crawled up and rubbed his shoulders while walking in front of Emo. Friend, thanks, you are really amazing. You actually. Speaking to this, Wu Jinjuan looked fearfully at Luo Xian next to Emo. In his view, Emo was really capable to get in with this girl. Emo thought this young master was really a meme. The first person he noticed was actually Luo Xian. However, he didn't have the intentions of talking too much with this young master. Just when he was about to invite Su Ping to sit for a while, a police car drove over and stopped by them. 3 people came down, other than the 2 Emo saw last time. There was also a middle-aged policeman. What's wrong? That middle-aged policeman looked amicably at Wu Jinjuan and then looked seriously at Su Ping and Emo. That policewoman Zhang Feng looked more seriously at Emo. Emo gave her too much bad impression. But soon, she saw Luo Xian and was shocked. Although she didn't ask about the situation, she could tell from the scene that this young Master Wu must be harassing pretty girls again, and Emo helped this young Master Wu. Then this bulky man acted heroically. They couldn't beat this bulky man, so they called the police. Seeing this middle-aged police ask Su Ping in a criticizing manner, Wu Jinjuan quickly walked up and said, "Captain Wang, let this go. It was a misunderstanding." Wu Jinjuan's words not only shocked that captain, but also Emo. This Wu Jinjuan was willing to let Su Ping go. This was unexpected. In his eyes, these young masters were usually extremely cocky. They wouldn't let people go like that so easily, even though Su Ping didn't beat him that hard. The captain looked curiously at Emo and them. But since the victim said never mind, he wouldn't do anything extra. Emo looked at Wu Jinjuan and smiled. "Not bad. You didn't betray me helping you twice." Although this Wu Jinjuan was a bit of a young master, he wasn't bad. At least he still had some loyalty. The reason he said never mind wasn't because he knew that Emo wasn't afraid of the police, but because Emo helped him twice, and this Su Ping was Emo's friend. Emo then looked at Su Ping. "Su brother, let's find a place to talk." Okay. Su Ping and Emo and Luo Xian left, but Wu Jinjuan still yelled at the back. "Brother, I'll invite you to food next time. I'm called Wu Jinjuan." This was the 3rd time he told Emo his name, and Emo wanted to laugh. This guy was really intriguing. This kid isn't that annoying. I saw this guy in front of a restaurant, pulling a girl. He didn't know to drink. This triggered me, and I beat him up. "Emo brother, how did you know him?" Su Ping asked. Emo shook his head. "I don't know him, but not long ago, he saved my life unintentionally." Su Ping dazed and wanted to ask who could hurt Emo in the city, but that Zhang Feng policewoman caught up. "What else do you want?" Emo frowned and asked. Zhang Feng didn't even look at Emo and just said to Luo Xian, "That person has done bad things. It's best you don't stay with him. He must have talked to you a lot. Don't believe a word of him. Just think of everything he says as the opposite." Luo Xian frowned and wanted to say something, but this Zhang Feng came from goodwill, so she eventually smiled. "Thank you for your care. I understand." Zhang Feng saw Luo Xian walk off with Emo eventually and couldn't help but to shake her head. She murmured, "Why doesn't such a pretty girl know self-love? Why did she have to be with someone who calls hookers?" Su Ping didn't know the situation, but didn't intervene until a long way away. "Emo brother, what's with that female police?" Emo felt his chin and said, "She caught me calling a hooker and blocked me in my house." Su Ping immediately continued, "Such a tiny thing? So what if you call a hooker? Both sides are willing. This woman is really nosy." Ah. Su Ping suddenly realized Luo Xian, who didn't seem happy, and immediately knew his words were problematic. He quickly added, "How could Emo brother go call hookers? Sister-in-law, don't worry too much." Emo quickly intercepted. "Su brother, we're just neighbors. There's nothing between us. Don't misunderstand." Luo Xian was expressionless and didn't say anything. The three found a tea house, and then Yemo asked, "Su brother, how did you come to Chun-in?" Su Ping sighed. "I was planning to go back and cultivate, but I was afraid the Broken Fist Hall mad dogs would find where I live. So, I've been living in the city, and because I heard about your things, I plan to get revenge for you. But my power is too low. Recently, I heard there was a blood coral in Yangpu, so I rushed here. I was thinking that if I got the blood coral, perhaps I would be able to reach Earth stage. That way, my chances of success would be greater. Then how did you come to Chun-in?" Yi Mo asked strangely. "You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories."